It looks like they did manage to get their reses coming on through, but instead of taking too much time to grab that healing, they have opted to move else. Absolutely. I feel like if I was going to take one team out of this top 5, and this is gonna ruffle some feathers, I imagine, but I think it would be E-Arena. This is the team that did so well in that first match. They broke records, they smashed ceilings, but since then it's just been lackluster. I mean, they only just surpassed doubling their scoreline from that one single match in their overall gameplay. I think it was a match or two ago that they were able to pass that. So I feel like if you're going to take a team out, it kind of has to be E-Arena, and I probably would replace them with Godlike in this scenario. I feel like S2G today has been a better team, but I think Godlike has had consistency across the 2 days in a way that has impressed me.
Well, Godlike's just been more consistent overall, right, in terms of the adaptations that have come through. I think that they are improving steadily, and surely I would agree with you that for E-Arena, that first map was amazing. It will go down in history books as one of the coolest rondos of all time. Unfortunately, haven't been able to live up to the hype other than that. And it is sad to see because they were on fire that game in Stadium. But yeah, I do think Godlike probably does deserve the spot a little bit more at this point. Unless E-Arena is able to pull some stuff out in the near future. They do have a very central position on this next circle though, so potentially this is the map to do it.
The difficulty though at the moment is that E-Arena, as we saw earlier, did not get a lot of loot on board early. They moved in towards South George at sort of quite raggedy loot. Hopefully they've been able to pick through some of these buildings, but they would have been under duress from the teams around them. We saw Wolves in there fairly early on. We saw Hustler Crew in there fairly early on. So in South George, I feel like they've had enough time now probably to be able to pick through those buildings and grab enough loot on board, add it to the coffers. But there is always going to be that question, are they going to be under-looted for this scenario?
Still plenty of loot around that area to grab though, right? They're down towards apartments, there's a fair few buildings to pilfer there. I think a lot of teams realize that they're already ahead. I was surprised that Wolves didn't make a run further in, but maybe they also expected E-Arena to get here quicker than they did originally. So for the Wolves, they opted to sit out a little bit sooner down towards Hospital. Hustler Crew moved up and were quickly rebuffed as Godlike managed to make this long rotate underneath Yasnaya over towards North George. I think it's a good spot. This could equally head over towards the north side of the map very easily off the back of this one. Alpha 7 back to their stomping grounds. Yesterday looked fairly good. I mean, there was a good start for them. Unfortunately, the capability of transferring that same prowess we saw in the first 3 games, not really there going forward. Again, Alpha 7, for them, it is a little bit scary. They're on the cusp, 37 points down towards 26. That could switch up, but they have a fair few teams as a buffer.
They do, but they've also got a track record of getting eliminated at the group stage at global tournaments, you know, so that's gonna weigh heavily on the mind as this circle is, and that is beautiful for Alpha 7. Up in North George, they were right at the edge of the pack. They're thinking, oh, maybe we can scamper across this bridge, but no, they can hold strong now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, for Godlike, actually, North George wasn't bad. This could easily head towards the northern side, which it does here. And you can see that Alpha 7 do have the center dot right now. They're over towards the western side of North George. Tiamba, you got Eagle, taking a couple of shots through, trying to ward off any players around them. But yeah, this is going to get very hot very quickly. There's a huge amount of water still involved. Can't really see it because of all the players littering over towards Everest. But this is lilting Northern.
It does seem to be. I mean, about 50% of the circle is on the north side of the river. And it's going to be teams moving across it. TT Project heading to the water. A lot of conflict now around those bridge crossings. I think, yeah, it was Dopeness trying to go across. Some conflict between 721 and Wolves. Wolves have swung all the way out east side, despite being in South George so much earlier on. Losing Baton, but they are across now, and one of the few teams to make it through over onto that northern edge. The rest of the bridges, much more treacherous.
I mean, Wolves actually getting through here with 3 players, pretty miraculous, honestly. You're passing through Box Compound as well as Watchtower. That's a lot of capability taking your entire team down. I think a lot more teams are going to struggle to make that crossing and probably will take more casualties than just that. Now, E-Arena, are they going to go for the bridge? That's the question, John.
I think it is I think it is a pretty big question. At the moment, it feels like they're trying to hold the bridge to stop teams from the south moving on through, but that is then a trade-off in terms of the time you could maybe spend navigating that bridge yourself or trying to open up an option on that northern side. Being trapped on the bridge, though, is the worst-case scenario. You do not want to be locked in there. A team comes in behind you. You find that it's impossible to move through on the northern side. There's always the water rotate as well as an option, if it comes to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they've got two teams breathing down their necks in Nongshim as well as Vitality. Two very scary teams, I would say, to go up against here for E-Arena, and they're trying to hold both of them out right now. I think that you can have a good idea that these teams are coming from the south side. So again, E-Arena, like you say, trying to cut out as much of this southern portion of the map as possible for themselves, but a difficult task, a very, very difficult task.
Ooh, Etch crashing onto the northern throws of TT Project, and that leaves TT Project on one player alive. 30 points, remember, on the cards for TT Project, which means they are very much in danger of dropping into the danger zone of 14th to 16th at the moment, and with only one player, they are looking pretty shaky. The only saving grace for them is that there is another team behind them who have also lost quite a few players. Dopeness playing on us too, but they are much safer in towards the middle of it. Oh, that's a lot of water, Blank.
That's really unenjoyable. There is a world where this goes back south towards the bridge. There is a world where that happens. I think it's much more likely that we end up in North George, but it's very rare that you get these circles towards the mid portion of the game with both North and South George in play. This is a scary one, very, very scary one. Many, many teams looking for refuge in North George right now. Everyone trying to kick their feet up, but many noisy neighbors.
Looking at Ida and Vitality, as you said, Nongshim as well. Well, we're looking at Nongshim now on the south side, trying to make a punch through. E-Arena took a knock over towards Joker, but that is isolated, and nobody from Nongshim stands beneath them to be able to get that flush. Vitality trying to navigate the area now to the southwest side of it, where the urban environment is littered with danger as XZY steps up for more, sprays down out the window, but doesn't quite get the full kahuna going there. And now is under a huge amount of threat. As Nongshim Red Force get obliterated.
I mean, for Nongshim, down to XZY, and then shortly after exiting the lobby, 80 points here opens up things for Godlike, S2G. The Arena, I felt like they were the ones doing most of the holding. It actually turns out to be Vitality, taking shots over towards Nongshim Red Force, getting most of that damage in. But again, that is the benefit of being front of the pack here, front of the queue for E-Arena. Schwebs is going to take high ground, though, looking over towards Vitality, who didn't lose all their players. They're still as a four-man. Now, can E-Arena hold out versus this squad? Struggled to do it in the past. A similar circle like this.
That's a very tricky team to hold out as well. The Ray duo coming in, looking to beam them down whenever they can. It is a nasty opponent to come into contact with. We were reminded by some of the people behind the scenes that Schweppes is technically the only player here who could get a triple title from PMWC. There is an opportunity on the cards for E-Arena to be able to make history on that front, as he was able to win 2 of them, I believe, with Vampire in some of the earlier days of the tournament. So looking to try and bring that power to 2026.
Unfortunately, it's been one game. They had one good game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not looking massively hopeful so far. Again, this is one of those games where they could strike out a 15-pointer, see themselves much safer going into map 5 and 6 over on Miramar. But goodness me, urban finishes, never fun. We're going to get our next circle real shortly. S2G finally breaking in to the circle on that eastern side. Our observers do find the map eventually.
This is nice. This is going to transition into a full map shot. There we go. Beautiful. I could see it in their minds. They set that up. That was pretty.
It did. It actually did.
This is a bridge circle. So what do you do here? I mean, E-Arena don't need to move right now. Sure, you might want to get central, but you can get onto the bridge later. You can just sit there and ruin the day for, well, actually, to be fair, very difficult to ruin Vitality's day right now. They're chilling. But for Ida, this is nasty.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. John, this is not just a bridge circle. I don't think you can announce it like that. This is an insane circle that teams are going to hate. We're going to be playing underneath the bridge for a long, long time. E-Arena's position became all the more important down towards the south side, but goodness me, this is getting treacherous. Like, where does it go next? He's going to have to hard shift back over towards that northern side, if anything, but it could come back down towards the south. Actually a wild, insane position to be on for all of our squads. Godlike loses one. Vitality looking to move in. Beautiful bouncer.
Up the staircase, nades now from Vitality, looking to keep the pressure up for E-Arena. They've already taken a knock in this location before. Either want to get stuck in. A third-party hero could be big. I think that's what came through just there. Darkin able to land the shots over towards Federalis, but Razak is in the building, looks to pop that smoke, keep them in a bit of cover there. The res comes through. Schweppes, oh no, has to move for the Molotov, and the burn is able to take down Joker. Schweppes maybe next for it as the nade goes boom right by his ear, and a drop down from the top will be sealing the deal. Schweppes falls in the arena, now on 2 players.
The nades so far from Vitality have been just disgusting. Like, that's actually criminal. The airburst on the top side, you do not see players hit those very often with such pinpoint precision. Can you imagine the Razy's providing a lot of that information back towards his team? You've got to ignore the minimap here. He's in and out in the water. He's watching from the hilltop that is sitting over towards that western side. Really, really incredible stuff. Ida did rock up as well. The rest of E-Arena playing underneath that bridge now, but wow, what a breach by Vitality.
I imagine that there are going to be plenty of people putting on their swimming goggles for this final circle, Blank. A lot of remnants. The saving grace of this circle, if there is one, is the fact that the majority of the buildings in North George are still in. It's going to mean that the next circle is particularly brutal, but there is a lot of area to contain all of these players, whereas in an open zone, that might not be the case. At the moment, Edge, they pushed in from that northwest side. S2G looking to follow in behind on that northwest edge as everybody's crowded around those apartment buildings.
Aura trying to get rid of Edge. Over on that western edge. Alpha 7 a little bit further in. Again, good opportunity here for Alpha 7 to try and solidify that position on the middle side of the tables. I think they realize they're not going to hit that top 5 today. But what they can do is ensure they don't drop into the bottom 3. Send home Tiamba, Edge, Hustler Crew, all the ones to go out now. See the Alpha 7 fans currently watching with bated breath here. This is sort of home ground, honestly.
That North George drop. Alpha 7, Godlike, both have been here for a very, very long time in North George. Now the neighbors are noisy. Make sure to keep them under control. Try and find a little sense of decorum in the zone. Tiamba protecting their patch, and there we go. But it's like still so much water in this one, Blank. That whole stretch of bridge. And the south side fight between Vitality and Ida is gonna need to pop off, and that is how you want to start it. Vitality open with a knock over towards Rita, their forward position. That's gonna draw the backlines from Ida forwards because they don't have a lot of time either before this zone starts closing. Less than 30 seconds to get him back up, to get in a position to jet across that bridge, or indeed jet underneath it.
Yeah, Razy is just a good spot here. That's gonna massively slow down Ida, like you say. It's a hard position to be in going forward. The Vitality, how do they want to make this cross that? I think TT Project not really in a position to hold them out on the other side of the bridge. A lot of teams likely not looking that way, trying not to expose themselves, but Vitality still have to make their way in. Where do they crash onto? Are they going to send it first? Looks like they're setting up the smoke train. I don't think they're banking on every single player making it, but right now everyone's on full HP. This is a very efficient cross from them.
They made it through the first break. E-Arena are underneath the bridge, so they do not have a say on this, making it to the middle spot. This is a good hold position against Ida. I think that they're wise to not try and send it all the way across because they just don't probably have enough information to know where is open on that northern side. It's just not possible for them to have scouted it. So just sitting up here, holding that south edge, they can start to slowly go forwards on that bridge in a future instance, and Ida, they're just going to have to go into the water and try and swim it.
Yeah, Ida going to send that over towards the eastern side here. Vitality probably sees this, but can't quite make the angles happen here because they are trying to avoid the shots coming through from the northern side, from the buildings, from the windows, in apartments. Tony K dropping down from E-Arena, trying to get some shots himself, providing that information back towards the rest of the team. See Hustler crew here, also Loco trying to work his way in. Final player there from TT Project did go down, 30 points as well. So TT Project in the danger zone. Dopeness tied up with Tiamba, who found 3 elims this match.
Yeah, on that east side, Tiamba actually have a pretty good spot on it. Mormon and Tony K both able to get the angles. Tony K steps up onto the cliffs. He's not out of the zone just yet, but has a little bit more time to play with it. Stage 5, he's full HP, he's got some stims going as well. He can hold here for quite a while and make Ida's life really tricky. Rita goes down. Emre next up on the chopping block. There's the spray and there's the connect. E-Arena doing bits to stay up in the top 5 and take down one of their closest competitors in the run.
Some incredible shots coming through from E-Arena. I mean, Tony K hitting those was nasty. There's a possibility to kind of like eke against this as well. Pull a weapon for a very short amount of time there, you can see. Just try and spam your screen and get the shot off. But you see here, S2G also are looking this way from underneath. Next circle though, where will it go? Will Vitality get thrown a bone here? Will we head out towards the bridge? Have one of the most unbelievable groups of all time over 2 days.
Vitality with the double drop down. They're down into the water here. I mean, they know they're probably not getting across the bridge, so I guess it makes sense. Drawing fire from teams like S2G across the way. See if that's going to pay out for them. They may just stymie everything on the south edge. In the meantime, Godlike trying to hold as much ground as they can. Tiamba behind them. Yangon Galacticos with a little entry there as a duo in one of the puzzle pieces. And the remnants of Plenty team who has fallen before them. Now everyone trying to make their patch in North George.
Aura still, decent spot. Vitality tried to use the vehicles to get good information on where these players were at before attempting to make their move forward, but there's got to be some snaking swims to the coastline. Razak's going to take a quick breather in the meantime. S2G also along the way. Lost, peeks out for a little bit too long. An overzealous nade maybe, but does get quite the distance over towards GS.
Gets pretty close, but yeah, not quite the full distance. Yangon Galacticos with 2 against 3 from Godlike as we tune back into the puzzle pieces. Godlike now committing to this fight, trying to push past Yangon Galacticos, get away from Tiamba. Smile, Molotov out the door, does manage to burn them back, but doesn't quite tag too much damage. Takes a nade to his feet, but does stay alive, stays standing, can start to heal, and out the window Romeo falls. Over the balcony, and Godlike might try and follow him.
Vitality taking a lot of hefty damage here coming through from GS. Unlikely that that's going to continue any further. Yangon Galacticos, defending champions, currently set to go through to the next stage. But not with glory, not straight to the finals. They'll have to play another stage here prior. Alpha 7 look to regroup. They're just going to daisy chain over towards the rest of the squad. Quiz now as well as Revo.
The main threat for Alpha 7 right now is Horror on their position. Everybody else from the south side is down the cliff or in the water right now. So in terms of danger to Alpha 7, that northern edge is much more important to keep an eye on, but you do still need to be worried about teams trying to sneak their way up, like S2G from their position, to move in and maybe get a cheeky little shot, make a little opening, and try and force their way into the fight in a much more favorable position. I'm surprised that the teams over on the south side in the water have survived for as long as they did. They are mightily tested right now. You can see, I mean, Mormon is right close to them. They're trying to get their weapons out here, get a shot off, maintain that pillar position, maybe find a shot, maybe find it, Tony K, maybe no. Can't quite get up high enough. As Federalis, he's on top of Mormon. He's just about getting the DPS out, but it's not happening.
Just holding him under though, trying to stop him from getting the breathe off. Making it difficult. Federalis dipping back down again, but yeah, for Vitality, E-Arena and Ida, this is a tough experience to be in. You see right now S2G trying to see if they can get themselves further up to peek over towards where Alpha 7's currently playing, but they are having a struggle bus of it. It looks like it's still happening as well.
The circle shifts out west, Blank. It keeps Alpha 7 in, but that eastern cabal of players, Godlike, Yangon Galacticos, the duo, Tiamba as well, that's all going to have to force west now. And I think it's going to get messy. For Godlike, I feel like it may be the best opportunity for them to just go as far forward as they can, as fast as possible, to try and escape the pressure that may find its way further east. But Yangon Galacticos want to try and get ahead of it too. They are just immediately sending straight on in.
You may as well try and get further into this. Again, this is sort of undecided though, because you have the western apartments and the eastern apartments on this one. It is marred by this massive road that goes in between. Crossing that's going to be a bit difficult. We are on that coin toss type of a circle now as well, where teams on that northern side likely will have to move. Question is, how well can Alpha 7 hold them out? Because there's a lot of teams moving in tandem. Tiamba setting up the smokes now to try and get across towards where Godlike are currently playing as a 3-man. I like this though from them. They're going to try and take the fight closer to Tiamba. Be prepared for this maneuver.
Elementrix gets mollied by a teammate off in the distance as they combat with Horror and Etch in the meantime. Godlike, they push back out, as you said, Blank. Now, against 4 players from Tiamba. Tiamba needing a little bit more dynamism than we've seen from them so far in these group stages. Let's see if they've got that in the pocket. Milu with a nade on close, first to step forwards, doesn't get contested on the angle, and now has to back off, but immediately stepped out by Spauer and will be able to take it down. Eagle tries to fly around the corner, but it's not working out. Godlike hold well for the first volley.
Great initial knock there from Spauer into a second. Will take the knock on himself just to ensure that Godlike can go forward. It's heroic play here from Spauer to ensure that they get the 5 elims. They're 1 off from cresting back into the top 5.
But hey, Blank, they pay the price. Spauer, sure, he was able to keep them in this one with some beautiful peaks, but the off angles there, they punished him. It meant that now Godlike has only 2 players to play with, but with 5 elims, they've still got a little chance of getting across here. A lot of teams now getting forced into unfavorable positions, and Etch have to take the top floor against the Wolves on the north side. Horror are going to have to move as well, Blank. 40 seconds to get out of their building and across a road and into no man's land.
Revo taking a knock here is kind of bad news for Alpha 7, because this is exactly the time that they want to be on a swivel right now. They want to be that moving turret as teams attempt to make their crossings. How many smokes do these players have remaining? Edge as well as Wolves know they need to get rid of one another first before they make that cross. As S2G slowly shimmer their way down the coast.
Playing on those cliff sides. There's still players swimming out in the water, but they are going to be so close now to the teams on the coastline. Etch trying to drop down into the Wolves, but they are ready for them. Teeth are bared and snapping at the heels as Etch try and make their way on through. With only 2 players, though, it's being made difficult. Another bounce on the nade there for Elementrix, just causing them to worry. On the north side, Horror still yet to leave their building. Another knock sent their way. A self-nade from Sleepy, and they are going to get flushed away. Greasel from Alpha 7. NASA from Edge. Everybody stepping into the fight, back into the blue, and they fall down. But Wolves, similarly, will take that tumble too.
Vitality out, was still in actually with the arena on the backside. They just lost 1 more player. The final one up is on very low HP, can no longer afford to go under. Greasel now back up, and remember, Revo was knocked, but they get him back up on his feet. These are very, very important points for Alpha 7 going forward. Aura somehow still alive here up against Edge on that northern edge, but for how long, I don't know. No fear will get the shots off with the S12K. Get themselves further into this game. 21 players remain and 9 teams still up. Everyone has been cut down to size.
The swimmers have made it to landfall there, and S2G have to fall back to try and deal with it. The north side decimated, no fear, the last to stand for it. And across the road, I don't think that you're going to be able to make that one work. Mormon goes down, Vitality were eliminated, everybody from the water now not finding their way through. Oh, hang on a minute. Ida, okay. They managed to get Swain all the way across now and actually up onto the high ground with maybe a chance of doing something here. He's going to be able to burn it out. This is the last nade in the pocket coming through from Kamikaze, but there's one for the back lines. And Ida go down.
20K though. See him just underneath, has a nade, looks to send it up over towards Solke. Revo will catch him as he tries to move away from the roaming nade sent up by E-Arena. And at 2G, they need to bolster their ranks, so we have so many teams. We had 7 going into stage 9, and it all closes here now, John.
A lot to play for. Salme, the last player now to stand for Godlike, with Yangon Galacticos inside the building, puts the nade in. And down they go. Yangon Galacticos will fall. Alpha 7 now descend from their building and look to take the fight straight to S2G. The solo player from Godlike is going to be left to his own devices. Patch himself back up. The stage 9 circle is going to the middle of the road. There is no cover. There is no hope. All you've got is the barrel to back you up.
And all roads lead back to Alpha 7 here in North George. It is their bread and butter. Can they clean things out now, solidify their position in the rankings before we head into the last 2 Miramars? MG3 in the hands of one, moved underneath. Nade goes long, Revo on the sidelines. Carrillo starts to move up, looks over towards Salme, who's making a heroic attempt for the Godlike team.
1v4 would be necessary, but he's in the blue zone and he's going down, and there is nothing he can do about it. Alpha 7 though, find the chicken dinner. They find what they were looking for. They move in with a pretty hefty scoreline too. And the drums, the horns, lights up the arena.
Really, really good stuff here coming through from Alpha 7. Happy to see it from this squad. Back to basics here in North George. Get themselves a chicken dinner. It's very unlikely now they drop down towards the bottom 3. They're in a set position going forward. And Revo giving the thumbs up. Honestly, good stuff from them.
Absolutely beautiful to see. They may be in with an outside chance of top 5, but I think Godlike were able to do enough to get into the top 5 there. And it is such a quick moving goalpost to try and score in towards the top 5 that I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. A heroic effort for Eda to be able to make it in that late in the game, Blank, as well. For E-Arena, that was late in the game from that south side. A diabolical circle for them to try and navigate.
Yeah, for everyone. I mean, so far Group B has been really cruel. From the southern playing paths to the circles we've been given, I don't think really anyone has been given an easy EWC here for any squad at PMWC. But for Alpha 7, great game. Really, really good game. Revo was on point this map. In a big, big way. I think he was finding a lot of shots here and there. Yes, he got knocked, but as soon as he got back up on his feet, he was identifying those angles where the threats would be coming from.
It's exactly what you need to be able to do there. To keep your wits about you in that North George position. They were the turrets on the swivel in their buildings, keeping control of the ground around them. Really, really nice stuff. No one really could contest them there. It was pretty unfortunate. On that north side of the road, it just was not possible to make it across. So for Horror to be able to be the last ones alive in that scenario, that was a good result for them, and you talked about their consistency.
Yeah, well, I think for Horror still, again, they move all the way from Yaz, all the way over towards North George. They managed to play a really tough circle. As soon as that pulls away from those apartments on that northern side, yet you are pretty much out. There's not much you can do about it. Alpha 7 pick a spot that was center dot for a long, long time, ends up being the best position to play from. Not to say it's always easy to find every single pick-off you need, because you're assaulted on all sides there. You need to be very cerebral. In your approach. But yeah, Vara, super consistent. I have no doubt they're going to do very...
I think you were calling it at the time. You said you liked it. It did end up going well for them.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate that there were so many off angles.
I think for S-Power there, it's a really, really good call from him, where he understands that this is a difficult circle, a circle they are unlikely to win on. So in that moment, he's like, boys, I am just going to push out here. I'm going to play the off angle that they'll never expect. And Tiamba absolutely did not. And for that, S-Power was able to pick himself up a couple of knocks there, which ensured they He won that engagement and allowed Salme then to get very, very far into the game. So although he goes down, there's a very, very tactical approach from him because he understands, right? This is not a case of, oh man, he got unlucky, or oh man, his power didn't know that angle was there. He absolutely did. Like, that's why I called it heroic. It was very big self-sacrifice from him.
Excellent stuff to close down that game. Our final Erangel is done. We're going to head down to the stage with Kalaris to catch up with what the players are thinking.
All right, thank you. There's a lot of energy in the arena right now, and thank you very much, Alpha 7, for just calming down just a second. We've got some interviews. We've got Dark in here from EDA to talk about their back-to-back wins so far, and that is actually my question about it. Back-to-back wins, Darkin looking amazing in the clutch versus E-Arena. After what happened yesterday regarding their results, did they think that they were going to be able to perform this well, and was there any changes from day to day?
Arka arkaya 2 tane win aldınız. Bunun için öncelikle tebrik ediyoruz. E-Arena'ya karşı çok büyük bir clutch kazandın. Dünkü sonuçlardan sonra bugün değiştirdiğiniz herhangi bir şey var mıydı?
Hayır, hiçbir şekilde değişiklik yapmadık. Stratejimiz hiçbir şekilde değişmedi. Sadece mikro hataları daha aza indirdik. O kadar. Teşekkürler.
Actually, we didn't change anything. We always play our own game. We just adapted to our small mistakes that we did.
All right, and I guess finally, are you going to be able to continue this on, get top 5? It's looking really good for EDA right now. What are your thoughts regarding that?
Ya şu an İDA için çok iyi görünüyor. Top 5 içindesiniz. Bu şekilde devam edecek mi sizce? Top 5 olarak kapatabilecek misiniz?
Umarım öyle olur. Büyük konuşmak yanlış olur şimdi. Teşekkürler.
I don't want to talk big, but yeah, I hope so.
All right, well, thank you very much, Darkin, here for joining us. I do also have Revo after that victory. Come on, guys, give us a little bit. I had to. How are you feeling right now, Revo?
Well, we are feeling good. I think like we did a bad day, but I know it happens. Like we are trying to do step by step, brick by brick. So we are doing like trying to recover ourselves, and we're gonna try to do our best in these last 2 matches.
Crazy circle there over on Georgia Paul, of course. How are you guys feeling about it? Obviously, in an urban ending like that, it gets very difficult, but then the circle centers on the bridge for some of that. Was that causing you guys some concerns internally? What were you thinking?
I think like gave us much confidence, and like God said to us, okay, I will give that save and win that match to like stay alive. So now we're gonna do our best to win the last 2 matches.
All right, thank you very much. Actually, no. Do you have anything to say to your fans, Revo?
Amo todo mundo, hein? Tamo junto.
All right, give it up. We're headed on back. That's Alpha 7.
Okay, guys, I clearly won that first game of basketball, but now we have a second game to play with 7-7. The reaction game is here. Anything you want to say before you start?
I'm gonna vitality him.
I haven't even played yet, but okay, I guess go for it. Okay, I'm checking it out. Drop a Federalis right now. Okay, 5 seconds, get ready. It's coming up. What? Why am I like this? I do animation. Come on. Oh, you're terrible. Oh, you got one. Okay, one. Hey, don't throw that at me. Focus on your game. Oh, no. Okay, Lace. Go on, another one. Oh, they're playing with you. They're playing with your mind. Come on, I'm gonna disrupt you. Come on, hey, there you go. Come on, 2 more. Yeah, I mean, this one's easy. That doesn't count. Yes. I forgot how many you got.
We're gonna set it up, and he's gonna do it. And you guys gonna let us know how many I ended up catching, because I lost count.
Yeah, same.
We'll be right back. Okay, we forgot how many I was able to catch, but now, Max, it's your turn.
Oh, you put me into it. Oh.
Yes, we're going straight in.
Oh, I'm gonna keep going.
Come on. First one, you're gonna catch it, you're gonna miss it. Hey! 1. Ooh, that was close. That was really close. Those you cannot see. Honestly, I don't. 2. Let's go, baby. Oh, that was close. That was close. That was close. That was close. Oh no! You gotta be ready. You gotta watch out with that one. 2. Come on now. No.
My eyes, I was cross-eyed.
Sir, I think I have beat you once again.
1v1 in PUBG Mobile. I win that one.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. I can vitality you there too.
I can fourth rise you there.
Ooh.
Esports World Cup.
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
I've been waiting for this moment for the past 4 days. Do Brazil! Finally, they end up getting a win here with the crazy rotation that they ended up doing in Neptura because they didn't have to do a damn rotation. It's exactly
That's what I was
where
going
they
to say.
usually
What
land.
rotation?
I can't wait to go back and see your face. Just like, what is he talking about? It just, you gotta let me cook, Max. You got to let me cook. But yeah, for that squad, this is exactly what they were needing.
Oh, it's so nice. It's a breath of fresh air coming on through for a 7 because now they're like, oh, yes, was it handed to us? A little bit, but
A lot.
a lot. Okay, fine. But now they're like, okay, we have a win under our belts. We have a decent amount of eliminations. I think they like 9 or 10 eliminations there. So now they're going, okay, now moving forward into the Miramars, we have a win behind us. We're not struggling so much anymore. We've got those eliminations. We can do it. Let's go in and get another win.
We. There you go, 18 points on the board. Of course, as you said, right, they're going to be dropping there. That is their main drop location. Actually, the reason why they won PMGC last year was because they got a lot of circles around the northern side of George Pole. They know how to play it. They know that place like the back of their hand. But Godlike, 14 points right now. I got a replay later on, but Godlike, I was not expecting them in the northern George Pole in a circle like this to do that well. For a team that has never played globally, they're getting these insane circles, man. I kind of feel bad for Godlike, man. The circles just are not making it easy.
I don't feel bad at all because they're showing up to when they are being challenged.
Sure.
And I think that is just such a great trait to have. And this is before we even came to Group B. I was hoping that Godlike will be able to showcase the skills that they have, not only just in fragging, but their tactical skills. And we're getting a chance to see all of that laced with Godlike, just them being able to rise up whenever they actually need to.
I mean, this is not unusual for them. They read this zone incredibly well and are able to cement themselves into it. We saw it on yesterday when they did like such a wide rotation just to get themselves into it. And with these crazy circles, guys, I've never seen a bridge pull like that before. Like, I really have not. And so for them to be able to capitalize on that, especially with all the chaos happening on that northern side of the zone, is awesome from Godlike.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Alpha 7 finally smacking S2G. That battle is going to be heated when we go to the clips on Instagram because those two squads have been talking so much smack to each other. But if we actually look at the top damage dealers and the eliminations, it's actually pretty even out for those top 3 teams. Alpha 7, 8, Godlike 8 as well, and S2G 6.
Yeah, I mean, really looking at it, Alpha 7, Godlike, really well done. I think the highlight team from this game is S2G.
Yep.
Like, they've really put so much on display. Last game, right, in that field finish, we did see a little bit earlier today versus Ida. And now in this game, the final wrangle here for Group B. What a great northern rotation, entering the city, seeing the city. Oh, it's a little bit too busy over there. Then going for the cliff side when it's still on the bridge, Neptura, and then just kind of number one, fishing out teams. HamCG was just farming E-Arena. There was Ida. There was Vitality, just getting point after point. Really good execution. And then afterwards, when they clear all the teams out in the water, they actually just use that cliffside as leverage to try and get a little bit of an angle on the teams in the city. It doesn't end up being a win, but for me, S2G was the most impressive team in this game by a pretty long shot.
I know you were looking especially at something that happened during that match between Godlike and Tiamba.
Oh yeah, I mean, there were some great smokes from Tiamba, by the way. You can see on the right side of your screen, the smoke's really good to make it cross to building in case there's an off angle. But look at Some, not moving an inch. Tiamba sending it forward like, okay, they all have to be in the other building, in the other apartment complex. But Some cooking up that grenade, waiting for them to go for the cross. The grenade's good damage onto Eagle, and now they're like, we're kind of stuck, we have to come into the play, and instantly Tiamba fully disorganized. The communication not there, and they get swarmed and destroyed by all of Godlike. What a play, what a trap setup. Godlike coming out swinging here on that last Orangle.
Coming out hot too, wanting to make it to those top 5, making it 2 Indian teams in the finals if that does end up happening. Spower has had an amazing, and I mean an amazing 2 days. Not only does this man have great hair lace, he's also being able to put up that eliminations with 2.1.
Yeah, well, look, I want to say they've been having a fantastic 2 days. Manya yesterday, Admiano yesterday, now it's Spower today, which I like that this team can like sort of swap those roles and those cohesion, especially when they're coming into this sort of stakes in this, I guess, this late into our group stages. I mean, this is incredible from this team, and it can definitely tell they're going to deserve a top spot.
I wouldn't be surprised if when he goes back to India, he's going to have a new hair product just sponsoring him because it's just...
Luscious.
Don't say anything, don't.
What did you
I'm
just try to
very
do,
jealous
Max?
of his hair.
Nothing.
What did you just... Hey, the hair is coming back for Max Mouse. We're going to be taking a look here at the overall ranking. Vitality, honestly, I'm just going to skip you at the moment because you're just so far ahead. Nobody's going to be able to reach you. Godlike Esports does end up moving up to 2nd place. E-Arena, I want you to keep in mind, though, how close it is between all these top 7 teams. If we end up removing Team Vitality, Godlike at 89, S2G at 77. It can be changing in just 1 match, and we have 2 matches left, Natura.
Oh my god. I mean, Nongshim out of the top 5 as well. I mean, they need these Miramars now to really come in clutch because they are so close. They're just 4 points out of the top 5, but they've been going down. It's been a downward trajectory for them. S2G pulling up really close behind them as well. It's now or never.
Yeah, talking about Nongshim Red Force playing too passive. That game early in the fields didn't push EDAV very passive because I think they just wanted to remain in top 5, but the teams, they're chasing you down. Though on the 2nd page, bottom 3, you got 2 more games, 2 Miramars to make it count. If it plays out like yesterday, only Vitality is going to get points there, so yeah, be careful.
If Vitality gets the points, that means that it's going to be even more compact, and it might end up coming down, more than likely, it is going to end up coming down to the final match in Miramar. But before we head into the first Miramar here of Day 2, Group B at PMWC at EWC 26, Jukes, Kalaris, I'm not going to say a pep talk, but are we going to be maybe smacking them again?
It's crazy here! It's crazy here! What's going on? You can't even hear me! It is so loud here. Jukes, I can't believe these fans are all here rooting for Horror in a big way.
I think we found the Aura fans here, right here, locked and loaded, baby! Because right now, they're in the top 5!
We're going to stay in top 5 here at the moment. You can barely hear us as everything's going on, but these fans are going rapid for Horror. I think they're going to stay in top 5 here. What do you think?
I think so too. What do you think about it, guys? Are they going to get top 5? Let's go!
Oh my goodness me, how excited are those players, the fans, well, hopefully the players too, but the fans are going to inject that power into our players, hopefully, to be able to take to the last 2 maps on the menu for Group B. 2 rounds of Miramar left for our teams to make their bid for the top spots to try and escape that death zone at the bottom of the tables.
We do have to send home 3 teams today. We don't have any choice in the matter. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. See exactly who those teams are as we head through to match 6 at the end of this. But first of all, we're going to get through match number 5. 2 Miramars coming up. Alpha 7, known for these in the past. Revo's convinced they're winning both. I'm not as convinced, but I would be very happy to see it. Another massively southern playing pair.
Wow.
For Miramar, this is actually disgustingly bad. It's really going to test teams' backup drops, how they want to navigate out of these zones into drop spots that are worth it, or however they'll have to go for some trash spots. In the meantime, yeah, this is definitely tough. It's been a tough couple of days, and I really do mean it. There's been some terrible circles, some terrible playing paths. It's all been horrid.
Some really nasty stuff coming through. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit kinder to some of our teams, but right now I think I'm seeing Alpha 7 and Horror both on this western road. Potential for hot drops there to come on through for two of our pretty importantly placed teams when it comes to those tables. So a contest for the vehicles. We'll have to wait and see if they do go for it, and they are dropping very close to one another, Blank. That is nasty out on the west side. Keeping an eye on hot drops. You've also got that Viademar situation. I think that's Etch and I believe Hustler Crew. No, hang on a minute. It's Yangon Galacticos. They are getting stuck straight in, and already Etch have managed to draw first blood against Saycloud.
Saycloud goes down. Yangon Galacticos struggling here, 9th place. But should have done enough. Still 2 more games though for having to change. Marnet tries to get a cheeky peek off here. Down to Smile, Romeo as well, still up here kicking with the rest of the squad. Circle goes over towards the western side. Alpha 7 should have fun time over towards El Pozzo off the back of this one. Wolves in Montenuevo. The Horror are getting stuck in alongside with them. Curious to see how they handle this, because they cannot have that many bits of weaponry just yet.
I mean, there is something in the hands. I mean, we were looking at this very early on, that both teams dropping out over that western road, trying to grab those vehicles. Looks like, I think this is the right decision to try and get away from this. The danger is that they know that Alpha 7 are going to have some weapons on side. So, the step out. Are you going to be able to connect it? No, no fear. Able to get the backup angle from Horror. And that section of the crowd, Kalaris and Jukes were spurring them on. And now they want a little bit more. They are circling back around. They want to try and seal the deal to finish the job that No Fear started, and they will be able to do it. Revo now on the corner at death's door, and it will be flung open, smash in the face.
I am sorry, but they should not be falling for that. That is absolutely the freest bait Horror's ever had to go for in their entire lives. I'm pretty sure Revo was like, probably shouldn't peek. They'll have another angle. But again, it got the better of them. They should not have peeked that as a 2-man. They didn't have the angles. There's full broadside over on that wall. If another player's already set up early, which Horror had done, you have to expect these teams will be going for these plays at such a level of PUBG Mobile here. Yeah, it's a strange one from Alpha 7. I was actually about to be really, really kind and say, wow, really love the patience from Noof as well as Revo there. They decide not to peek because they know that Horror's got an off angle available. And then all of a sudden, it all went wrong.
Yeah, it's not too good. But the good news is that they're going to win the game, right? Right, Revo? Right? Oh, maybe not. Ugh. Much more difficult now. 2 players on the western road, but the circle is out on that west side as well, so a potential for them to get fairly deep into the match and maybe look to more solidify their position in towards this middle pack, which, yeah, I feel like it's already kind of been done with the 55 points that they've earned. The bubble currently sitting at around 30. It would need a 25-point gain from our bubble to surpass them, which would be pretty miraculous, I think, for all of the teams beneath them to be able to do that. But yeah, they would like to be a little bit better, a little bit higher on those tables if they can make it happen. But now they are just too far from 5th. We are going to be trimming the herd of teams looking to make it in. S2G and Nongshim Red Force just behind that bar.
There's a team that does love Miramar. It is S2G. Now, they have been fairly lucky before on it. Okay, we go for the PM. Love to see it. Absolutely panned on. Oh, dear. A bit of revenge coming through for Horror. But yeah, for S2G, they do love this map. They've had some luck on it before. This time around, I don't think we can call this luck at all. They're sat in El Azahar. They have to move across. But if there's any time for the Turkish squad to do it, it is right now. To be able to send 2 Turkish squads through would be a very, very cool thing to see for the region. And they're not far off.
Okay, Romeo lying in wait, quiet as a mouse, but strikes like a viper. as they step up the stairs, a little bit too bold for it, but still in danger. Romeo drops down, Smile goes down the stairs, out wide. Fajita can't quite connect on the shots, and it's going to be a one-for-one trade on the angle. Smile still with it, more to do, but he strafes across and can't quite get that spray transfer to connect. And it will be the end for Yangon Galacticos in the penultimate Miramar. Going down on 55 points though, Blank, they're very, very likely to be going to the survival stage here.
Yeah, this matters way more for Edge, honestly. Getting 4 elims there is great news. They also didn't lose a singular player. Everyone knows that you really don't want to be losing players too early here on Miramar. It does make a lot of your rotations much, much harder. Some of those holdouts a lot harder, as these compounds can get quite large over on Miramar. But we are heading back over towards those crater fields, some of those more open areas of the map. We have a lot of dead ground over towards that western side. We're cutting in over towards the mountaintops.
Vitality with a little bit of a road ahead of them, but they spent some time to take down the truck. They will be profiting from the loot inside. A really nice pickup for them. Obviously, the addition of those, a massive early game speed up on your looting phase. You do want to be getting on the road nice and quickly. Godlike, they're a little bit closer to the circle, the west point of Los Leones right now. Going for the ghost roll down the hill as he turns the engine on and finally hits the gas. Sends them forwards, careening towards the northern area, just north of Chumacera, to get on into this next circle. The center of it around Monte Nuevo is starting to get quite packed in now.
Yeah, the crossroads are going to be a pretty big feature in the future. I mean, E-Arena's already trying to set up early over towards that high ground, but Emre has set up that early on. Might have to dip and head towards the rest of the team at some point, though, because E-Arena might just flow through. For the time being, though, it's not a massively priority position, so Emre might just get the chance to sit up here for quite a while, play Lighthouse, and scout out these teams coming through on a full 360. Chumacera is probably the most awkward area of the map right now, and a lot of teams are coming through from there because we had that southern playing path at the start of this match on Miramar. So you have those foothills you're having to navigate through into Monte Nuevo. So we have 1, 2, 3 around Cruz de Valle. That's Nongshim, Edge, as well as TT Project. And then as we head further over towards Monte Nuevo on that south side, we've got GS, we have Hustler Crew, we've got Godlike, we've got half of Wolves, we've got Dopeness too. So this is a very, very packed area of the map for a lot of teams. And even Vitality's coming through from Los Leones now to cover that area.
Ooh, Etch lost a player there. We were talking about how important it was that they were able to get the 4 elims to try and jump up out of the bottom 3. But they tried to move someone scouting that northwest edge, and TT Project were able to clip that and send one to the point bank. And they are in direct contest for those spots as well. It's not where you want to be seeing your points going. If you have to go down, you'd prefer it not to be a team in contest for one of those qualification spots to the survival stage. Next circle, displaying itself with a hard south shift. That area that you were talking about being so jam-packed now sits right in the middle of the whole circle.
Yeah, around Ladriera as well. So pretty awkward. There's a bit of high ground over towards the east and the western side. But Ladriera is kind of this dead valley, right? It's not central either. So going for some of those compounds that sit underneath the ridge side, not ideal at this stage of the game, but some teams might be forced into them just as stop-off points. Pretty much just hostels for them to work off the back up before they make their hike towards the center of the circle. But a hard one, definitely a very hard one, because we still have those foothills down towards the south side too. Vitality is just making their way over towards them now. Godlike playing around some of the compounds in Minas del Valle.
Oh no, Kamikaze calling for support there. Someone help me. Someone turn me back over, and there he goes, Hamzy, with the assistance, and Kamikaze able to get back on the road again for another journey forwards into an area close to the center of the circle, moving in from the east side. Godlike were able to get one of the high ground areas around Chumacera, but Vitality are now looking to try and share that from across the way. So our top 2 teams, in fact, right now, Blank, could potentially come into conflict over this area.
Yeah, we say top 2 teams. I mean, Godlike's done fantastic over the last 2 days. They really, really have. But right now, Vitality is just incomparable to any squad. I mean, 142 points. I think they are closing in on the century in terms of elims over 2 days, by the way, just to make that very clear. which is one. Very, very wild. Wolves going against Ida. Emre did pull it off from that high ground on that north side. Arena's flowing through some very, very open ground, but still not a position that a lot of players want to be in. We're heading over towards gas stations right now, but that roadside, get a little further in towards the high ground, quite like Godlike's position down towards Chumacera. They're trying to center up on some of these lovely bits that they can get. Some great sightlines looking down towards teams, but is it likely to end up in Chumacera proper? I don't know at this stage of the game. It's very, very hard to tell.
Vitality trying to move on through, and they're taking the fight to Speed, who lobs a nade down in, but doesn't really connect on much. Razak is going to be forced away from the stair push by a Molotov to slow things down, allow Etch to marshal their response, to get into position to respond to this Vitality aggression. Trying to peek out the window, Speed has the confidence of his teammate up the hill to cover up this angle, allowing him to play on the windowsill. Tries to find the lineup down the alley, down the hallway there, but it's not going to connect, and instead it's turned around on him, and now Etch have to get off that high ground too.
It's just disgustingly fast. I mean, Federales is so quick on the uptake. The reaction speeds on this guy is insane. I mean, shown even yesterday with the inhuman flicks we were watching, kind of popularized from PEL region as well. So again, very, very cool stuff coming through from Federales, but overall, these guys are changing the game. They are changing the game. It is hard that you cannot be playing sloppy versus them, because they will punish every single mistake that you do make. Godlike again, slow roll. Love to see it. These guys are cheeky. They are very, very cheeky. S-Power getting a lot of information in through this.
Get some scouting done. Feathering the clutch. Trying to look as stylish as possible. Spend the minimum amount of effort to get the maximum reward. There's plenty of rewards available in-game right now. Blank, of course, with our Naruto partnership. You can check that out in the game. Make sure that you're jumping in whilst it's still all available during the event, and draw for the Naruto character set for the Fury AUG. It's looking pretty. It's got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, the Ninetales Fury AUG looks awesome. Really does. So does the Sage skin for Naruto.
Oh yeah.
Want to pick that one up?
Uh-oh.
Vitality do lose Razak. Federales underneath. Might need to start dropping some more smokes, but they're up against Godlike now. Didn't really let up too much. Godlike want to push on towards Federales though. Difficult player to go up against, but instantaneous response coming through from Axel. Razak was re-knocked instantly.
Now Vitality.
Salme will find Federales there. Ooh. Axel on a bare slim amount of HP. Razy just trusting in him.
Oh, what a close down there. The third party for the off angle for Godlike, and they are ending their first of 2 Miramars here on 90 points. It is not ideal, but they are still in second place for the time being. And the fact that the points go to Vitality, you're kind of okay with that, right? You just don't want them to go to anyone else. Vitality is just this bottomless pit of points that you can throw things away into and forget about them. They have, I believe, as you've just pointed out to me, crossed the century on Eland alone. 101, taking the rest of the lobby to school.
Man, 101 eliminations over 2 days, and those 2 days are not yet finished. A 50 elim per day average is just crazy. It is unheard of. Elementrix moves in. Neos will take him out, though. TT Project certainly suffering towards the center. We're going to have next circle coming in soon. Montenuevo currently held by Ida right now. It does head back down towards the southeast side. Pretty barren landscape there. A lot of rocky outcrops, a couple of defilés to play around with. Tiamba down in 14th. It's not a massive jump up they need, but so far Tiamba has been a little bit lackluster on the gunfights.
They do have a pretty good position in this circle, so hopefully they can get value for it. TT Project, though, in this fight, looking to try and trade blows with them at the moment. They're out of danger, but they are so close to it. They are on the precipice, so a win on the fight with Wolves would be great news to try and give them a little bit of runway in this circle. Around the corner now, drops a nade out. Lots of damage pouring on out from the end of that SK-12, and it is just too much for them. Maybe the nerves are getting to them, and he's charging down the stairs, looking for the last player. A final nail to slam into the lid of the coffin for TT Project. Give an opening for the teams behind them, but he turns tail up the stairs, and Neos lives on.
Neos does a great job. I mean, Baton really did come out swinging. Not quite finish it off there, got the sound cue and kind of spooked him on both the pimples. On the nades, Nongshim Red Force moves up over towards Aura. South side of Monte Nuevo. Good shots though, very, very good shots coming out from both teams. XZY down, as is Sky, but Hyunbin taking a fair bit of damage from off angles, forced to drop a smoke here.
No fear, moving forwards already with that first knock. Hitting the deck, going for the crouch, rolling forwards, but does finally get shut down on his approach. It was so close to going pear-shaped there, but he kept his nerve. And now Horror with the one player alive, Nongshim Red Force. Looking to keep themselves under control. Tizzy wants the reses, but Sleepy's out in the blue zone. A fair distance away from this fight. No real chance to get these confirms, to get these flushes, and most likely to get his teammates back. Not to mention, Nongshim Red Force know exactly where this guy is.
Yeah, they're good to go. I mean, Sleepy's not making his way in anytime soon, so easy on the side of Nongshim Red Force. Should be able to pick him back up again, but it's a case of moving across this road. And in the meanwhile, Alpha 7 creeping up behind them. This is an aggressive play coming through from them. Carrillo leading that charge on side. So easy, will finish off No Fear. Where do both these teams go? Alpha 7 on the low ground. Tizzy with the Mini 14. That's dangerous.
Can't ignore it. Or do so at your peril. Ida with a nice central position to try and protect the area, but not only that, their 5th place bubble position in the direct qualification spots. They can leverage a lot of influence over this part of the zone on the western side, and Tiamba, as we highlighted earlier, on that east edge, looking to do the same and get out of 14th place and into the survival stages. One of the only PEL teams, well, the only PEL team with the chance to try and go there.
Excited to see it happen, but again, tough. Very, very tough right now. They still have a little ways to go. Shots raining round. The drums start again inside the arena as we hit the 17-minute mark here. Circle heads over towards the northeast side. S2G, once again, I mean, these boys, they're good at Miramar, and they're also good at qualifying last minute on Miramar too. They currently hold both sides. There's a bit of a greedy split they've got going on, but they also have a lot of vision. They've got a lot of range in this area. Yes, it is greedy, but until they start seeing teams trying to push over towards these points, understanding that the north side is most likely the clearest area of the map, depending on the playing path, they should be okay. Remember, they swung in from El Azahar. This was a long journey for them.
Long road indeed. Hustler Clue finding one from 721 GS. On that south edge in the meantime, Vitality are behind them in the queue. They did lose Federalis earlier, obviously. 5 eliminations already, fine. You'll take that. That's pretty chill. And around that south edge, they'll try and roll through. Hustler Crew right now, probably one of the softest targets for them to try and take on the fight with, but Alpha 7, far from done. And I look for the spray down. Not quite connecting underneath there, but spots him trying to get away from the vehicle. It was going up in flames, and Carrillo secures another point for Alpha 7 to get them one step closer to safety. Hyunbin tries to go for the hop around the edge, but it's going to be shut down. This is the influence that I wanted to see Ida executing on this western side.
Ida's had a fairly safe game as well, so they should have decent utility, decent supplies on board. Raisy's got his something on. That's scary. And Vitality, they're looking to push straight over towards Hustler Crew's position. Kamikaze will find Tizzy too. Again, good stuff from S2G, maintaining control of the map on that northern side. Hustler Crew will find Razak. Axel goes down as well, but Raisy's still kicking, still making those shots happen. Following the vehicle down, the sideline shots as well. He knows he has to finish up quick.
There is that off-angle potential, as you said there, Blank. Needs to hit the heel, though. The nades are going to start to roll on in, sidestep it, but he doesn't manage it. And it goes boom, and Vitality are out, eliminated with 6 elims, so it's still a really good game for them, and they are totally chill, they are totally fine. In the meantime, though, Hustler crew fighting for their life. Vinny on a separate fight as Vitality rock up into the other side of his team. Drops a nade out the window, looks for the flush, looks for the knock, but it's not going to come through. Nasa, the last stand for Etch on the bubble, opens the door, doesn't step through it though, and Vinny tries again, has still got ammo in the back, and will be able to shut it down. Etch now down on the bubble.
Goodness me, Edge, like you say, out 13th. Tiamba, I half expected them to have a lot more influence here. I think they just don't want to lose this compound. They like how they're playing off the back of it. Didn't want to even try and send a 2-2 split down there. They know they could probably deal with these teams as they come in later. Dopeness did make their way up from that south side. Vinny could not help with Vitality. He was having his own small battle on the other side of the map.
Dealing with his own demons. And now Vinny has the whole of Tiamba look at his way, as well as Dopeness out on the western side, but he's into the vehicle, trying to make his way through, and it's not going to go well. Milu picks that one up. Tiamba able to eliminate another team, but they have to leave their compound now. They can't commit to staying there any longer. The zone goes to the center.
I'm very curious to see how S2G plays this time, because they have 2 spots they can work with. They got the gas station on the northern side of the road. That's likely to come out a little bit sooner. But both areas quite difficult to play from, actually, on this. I think they might wrap back down.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is good from Tiamba. I like that rollout. It's what I was thinking they needed to try to do to progress. And the fact that S2G didn't have a full hold on it, they read that nicely, and they do regroup, as you said.
Yeah, they're going to play the roadside. I think I was trying to consider which one you wanted to go on towards, because playing across the road is hard. So they do get an anchor center. This is really nice for S2G, actually. Kamikaze just has to live here. I think he has a fairly safe spot to do it, and I think that's a shack towards the center of the circle, so they can play off the back of this ridge side, but they need to support their anchor here in Kamikaze. That's where most of the gunfire needs to be going towards. They know that Tiamba's on their east, so they can keep an eye on that the entire time. But for Tiamba, this is an all-important game. Same goes for S2G, though, trying to get towards the finals.
Lufa does manage to get across somehow. The volley of fire not quite potent enough from Ida to take them down. The smokes are dropping as well, and they can get on the road. Hopping in, not going to go for the hill, not going to commit the time to it. Alpha 7 in the meantime, you do still need to step forward too. Getting suppressed by Ida all the while, and again, Dopeness somehow managed to slither around the sight lines that Ida are laying down.
Yeah, but they're slithering straight back into the blue here. This is not ideal. Southern Edge now, GS in front of them, vehicles burning. Barrel in play, will shred them as they try and come down the hill, and they're fully silhouetted again against the hillside. S2G might have angles. E-Arena playing it very, very safe over towards the northwest. They know that they're realistically just looking for more placements. Guizao will rock up, though, alongside with Carrillo. Has the MG3. This is a big moment now for Alpha 7 as a 2-man.
Tony K with a nade in hand, could connect, could do devastating damage to Alpha 7 as Dopeness descends from the hilltops as well. Tiamba are chiming in on the off angle. Nobody is escaping the bloodshed here. 721 GS will go low, will go down onto just one player. Malik survives it. In the meantime, Alpha 7 were able to get a slice of that warehouse on the northwestern side. Both of them staying alive, and E-Arena will be drawn down to 2 players alive as well. With the placement points guaranteed for Tiamba, they will be out of the danger zone at the end of this game as well.
Great stuff for Tiamba, honestly. They're being really cautious about it, though, right? They're trying not to get too aggressive onto these engagements, try and siphon points where they can. Sadly, it's not been a lot of points at all that they've been able to siphon off. Tiamba only with the 2 eliminations on this game, despite being involved in quite a lot of engagement so far. E-Arena had a tough time. By the time that Alpha 7 moved up, they needed to start laying down smokes on Joker as well as Schweppes' side to enable them to cross to help Tony K deal with Alpha 7. That initial initial nade had to be strong. Now for S2G, that anchor looks mighty good towards the center here in Kamikaze. He's kept things silent, and S2G, again, they play a very, very good Miramar here.
It's their chance to jump up in towards the top 5. The annoying thing for them is, though, Blank, E-Arena and Ida are both still alive. Ida with all 4, E-Arena on 2. They're hoping that Alpha 7 are going to win this fight on this northwestern side. Maybe not so directly, but I think it would be in their best interest if it did happen that way. Alpha 7 with their back to the zone, guarding out E-Arena as they launch a nade forwards to slow them down.
Good initial nade. Chips away at the damage. Schweppes has one of his own, sends it out, only a little bit of damage. He's going to commit to the second one. Joker doesn't take any damage from that whatsoever. Guizhou gets backed off. Molotovs go through, stopping Carrillo from peeking too far out here, or in fact retreating back. So now in a 1v1, good shots from Joker. Guizhou, all up to him, will go down. Sadly in 6th place, but still a good attempt from Alpha 7 on the 2 men they had.
Did a lot of work against E-Arena, made it hard, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. Tiamba now moving forwards from the southeast side. S2G want to challenge, but a nice little roll down. The smokes are starting to bloom, a lot of invested utility here, but the chokehold from S2G is potent, and the spray down connects with Milo on the back line. Lost looking to lay her down too. The nade doesn't quite go the distance from QZ, and it does not connect, so Tiamba playing on his 3, still looking to push over the top of that bubble position on the bottom of the tables.
Ida sweeps over towards E-Arena as they try to make their way in here. But for Ida, it feels like a pretty easy cleanup should things start to go a little wrong here for S2G. I do like that S2G gave Kamikaze basically all the bells and whistles as he moved in towards there, almost 400 ammo. They wanted him to be on a swivel the entire time, 4 nades as well, just in case people rocked up on this shack towards him. Good shots from QZ to start things off over towards GS. Once again, another circle shift here. I do think that S2G has played this game very damn well. It's just a question how well they can deal with Ida in the near future, and can they manage Tiamba on this eastern side without having to invest too much into it.
It's a really difficult spot. QZ is burning there, down behind the tree. I think the healing is already coming through though, so will be okay for the time being. Hasn't come through yet. Maybe a little bit lacking on that front. As the nades continue to push forwards, Emre trying to make a break. You can see the smoke dropped out. 721 GS still a factor here on the north side for Tiamba. It is just about in nade range, and they're taking damage. There it goes over the front bonnet, just keeping them safe, but there's a follow-up. There is still more pouring on down. That looks good. It's on target. They dash away, duck back in. They are back and forth, and S2G have taken casualties. Emre with a big nade over towards S2G on the center point. In the shack, they lose 2.
Again, this is all about managing things, right? Is why I thought Ida would be a big problem in the near future. For Tiamba, an opportunity opens up here. S2G, they scatter to the wind. They look to try to bolster position alongside Wahamzi G now. But another nade goes in. Solke being very careful, looks to drop the smokes. These are long grenades to head on over, not quite reaching. Rita extremely low, but in his last moments will send a nade in. But the junkyard of vehicles making a nice safe position to play. Emre is down. Rita's gonna try and send some Molotovs over the top, make it uncomfortable, make it hot over there for S2G.
Tiamba are wasting so much time here, Blank. Sure, they find Lost on the off angle, and that is a great pickup for them, but it's taken them so long. They could have moved forwards, tried to dynamically take that position, sideswipe, and third-party S2G on the shack. They can do so now as it has unfolded for them, but I feel like they could have done it a little bit earlier. I want more dynamism from them, but they are still doing well here.
I mean, Tiamba, they still got to deal with GS, right? And pushing down there almost might have been a death sentence for them. They've only got a few grenades left. Still nades sending out over towards Rita right now. He might be able to hit the God nade through the window, potentially. He will send it. Lands on top. But yeah, GS is a big problem. I don't think Tiamba had a lot of nades though. They didn't even have a lot of ammo either. They've been playing this game quiet. But the amount of side steps they've done on these nades has been quite miraculous. We've seen some acrobatics coming through from Tiamba so far. Rita moves up. Nade should do the trick though.
Takes him down. Another team scratched off the card. S2G with a chance to jump up into top 5 off of this game as well. Blank with a chicken dinner. QZ spotted, and 721 GS are making themselves such a nuisance on the flank. Eagle finally able to do one, find the other as well. Potential for the res, but there's not a lot of time. The zone is already closing. I don't think you can commit to this one. It may just be a raw 2v2, and you know where both of them are. They're both inside. How do you navigate this? Eagle sending in.
Moving towards the tree side here, S2G getting ready for the double peek off the back of it. Nade over the top now, coming through from A-King. He moves up, that might do the trick. Bounces into the window, it's a lovely burst on it. Hamzy G last left alive. This nade has to be immaculate coming through from S2G.
A chance. A-King on the back of the tree, gets pushed out wide, and there's the pick. Hamzy now in a 1 versus 1 for S2G to jump up to the top 5. A direct qualification spot is up for grabs. Tiamba looking to solidify themselves into the survival stage. It is a high-stakes 1v1, Blank.
Eagle playing off a tiny little bit of a ridge side here. Gets a little bit of open ground. He's going for the res, baiting Eagle in. Hamzy G has a tiny angle to work with. He's looking for the flush, looking for the finish. Eagle moves up to the plate with a DPS. The blue pushes Hamzy G now, John.
He has to leave, he has to step out wide, but he can't do it. S2G fall at the final hurdle, and Tiamba take them to the cleaners.
Tiamba, a much-needed win right in the last moments here of Group E. Fantastic stuff for them. A tough win, barely anything to work with. I think you were on the money though. There were some moments where Tiamba was a little bit slow, but you can understand their hesitation. Throughout the entirety of these 2 days, they have been on the back foot, but it must feel very, very good right now to finally get a win underneath their belt. For S2G though, we expected this, right? We called it early on. S2G is a team that does well on these type of maps, but missing out on those points from the eliminations and the extra 4 for the chicken dinner, that might hurt them from getting into top 5 because it's very flexible between the top 7 at the moment.
Yeah, it was very, very close towards the top side of the tables. There were teams that had gone down earlier that ended up on 90 points. I think at some point S2G were 11 points behind a little bit earlier on. With the elims that they've earned, they are going to be right in and amongst it, Blank. It is going to be a crucial final map moving forwards. Tiamba, I think with that match though, have accelerated themselves far enough away from that bubble to not be worried moving into this final Miramar.
Yeah, will require some miracles to change things up, but for Tiamba, that is a much needed win. The very best time for it to happen. So again, I think there's probably people around the world that are very pleased with that result. Fans of Tiamba, super relieved maybe, more than happy. But yeah, for S2G, missing out on the chicken dinner there is tough. It's definitely tough. I think that was a good opportunity. But they played that game well. I think they played that game very, very well. There was a lot to manage there. EDA is a tough team to go up against. We know that this squad is a never say never type of deal. So yeah, I think for EDA, this is a tough team for S2G to come across in those final moments.
Absolutely. I mean, there is a lot of power to be scared of in this lobby. Godlike, one of those teams in that bubble fight right now. They are towards the lower end of it on that 90-point tiebreaker. And I think that tiebreakers are important to mention as well, Blank, because S2G didn't get that chicken dinner. That could be a crucial factor for them if they end up drawing with a team that has more wins under their belt than they do. They don't win it on that tiebreaker. That first tiebreaker being the chicken dinner count could really be important for them.
Well, they've got one more Miramar, so again, they could maybe get it done there. I think for S2G, they've proven that they are a good team on the desert. They got their desert boots on most of the time as well, so we'll see what S2G can get done. I think a lot of people would be quite happy to see S2G in the top side, but it's so nice to see it really, really open up. Flexibility in the top 7, so cool, even coming in to the final match today. But we'll be back very shortly for the big conclusion here of Group B.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
what a performance. Tiamba coming out on top in the last game. It's going to be helping them stay out of those bottom three. But for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget that the fan experience is now open from August 11th through the 16th. You can join it. There's some giveaways, there's some challenges, and you can check out also the awesome collabs that we've been seeing around. Naruto, Spider-Man, like the brain rot. Still a brain rot? Might need to try that one out myself.
I do be stealing some brain rots.
I stole some earlier when I booped you guys on the head with a big chicken leg.
Tung tung tung saho, am I right, lads?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
But S2G was able to get a second place finish there. And honestly, this is going to put him in great contention up to right, because this squad is wanting to be in the top 5.
They are, and they're really pushing for it. It's really, really nice to see that. Even coming into that Miramar, right, we were looking at a really big split across the north and the west eastern side of zone. Big split, 1-2-1. You got had Kamikaze coming in, starting to spread out on P5, go into the middle of zone. The reason why they didn't end up winning the game, the reason why it didn't work, because it should have worked. The reason it didn't is that terrain is just really, really flat and really, really open on a slight downhill trajectory where they were. So actually Tiamba and Ida both had an overwatch on them, so they were just unable to regroup. Lost was isolated completely, and so they kind of ended up just going out one by one, which is a big shame because that split, I liked that split.
Yeah, I mean, I think the terrain could be taken into account, but I think it's more of an issue. A lot of teams are kind of like pushing around them at the same time, and then the shed they had in the middle literally doesn't become playable because you think you're safe. No, a team has an angle on the back of you, they're going to shoot you down. And I think it was quite impressive that Kamikaze was in the center and the only player in the zone for a good old 2 minutes or something, so very impressive. I had no idea how that worked out, but by the way, score for a second there. Eagle was your game MVP. Good on Tiamba to get a win, which they needed, but I'm gonna say here, Hodrux, it's still not an impressive win that I was hoping for, but it would be enough to escape the bottom 3.
I don't care, dude. I mean, a win's a win. Thank goodness. Oh, I was sweating bullets. I was getting a lot of flashbacks of Alpha 7 not making it to the finals. I was like, there's no way Tiamba doesn't. Yeah, 17 points, that's going to be good enough, right? For sure, to at least put them in the survival stage. And at the last second, I mean, we only got one game left to go, and this last game is always so chaotic because so many teams are desperate, right? So for Tiamba to get it done in the second to last game, clutch.
I mean, really, as you said, teams are getting very desperate. ETSH got a lot of eliminations early games.
Yeah.
To the side of TT Project, they're all farming it, and I was like, Tiamba, it's your time to really step up and get something done, which they did. Again, I think gameplay-wise is not the most impressive, but a win is a win, Hodrix. I cannot argue with that logic. But here you can look at the terrain. SGG was struggling, losing a lot of their forces in the process, down to just PAMCG, and he almost got it, right? That jump shot trying to escape from the blue zone, but unfortunately, Eagle went caca and got it done. I was waiting for that.
There we go.
But going back to Tiamba, I mean, yeah, a win's a win. The points, it's something that they definitely needed to stay off those bottom 3. And I can't wait to see what those bottom 3 are going to be looking like. If for some reason you have been missing out when we talked about the format, let me give you a quick little format reminder as we are going to be heading into the final game of Group B for PMWC at EWC 26. Top 5 will go directly to the finals. Bottom 3, Krish, Keith, Crush. And in between, everybody gets a chance to go to survival, which it's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be the day after that. So make sure you guys put that on your calendar. And for some of those squads, what are we expecting to see, Hodrix, out of this squads? You're saying we're pretty much expecting no pressure on them because they have to go take it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last game, right? One game left to put yourself in the finals. You really have to do so because there are some serious squads going to that survival stage. I mean, yeah, Tiamba, rough day or rough 2 days, right? But we know what they can do. Come survival stage, they could look like an entire new monster. So S2G, it's so good to see them right there. I think there's a lot of weight on their shoulders, but you got to be able to get the clutch done. That's what it's all about. You got to adapt.
Yeah, for SGG, we need to see them possibly end up coming out with the win. I would love to take a look at the overall just to see how close everything is, because today we have seen everything between these teams. I mean, it's been crazy how much the leaderboard has been changing. This bunch of points has been going all over the place, and there you go. Now we actually get a chance to see the overall, and you can tell from 7th place all the way to 2nd place, it's just 10 points that separate the squads.
Oh my goodness, 1 point difference between Godlike Esports and just below them S2G that's been having the comeback of the year years so far, without a single chicken dinner, pulling kind of a 4th rise at this point. But they got so many strong finishes, right? Rondo, 2nd place, going into a wrangle. They got a 2nd place, they got a podium. And right here in this game, they get themselves another 2nd place. But I do agree. I feel like we need to see a win if they want to comfortably make it in, because do keep in mind, they got no chicken dinners. If it ends in a tie, Godlike or Horror Esports would end up overtaking S2G's spot.
No, it's true, and we have seen multiple ties like this all day long. I think we had one between E-Arena and Horror. We had it between now Godlike and Horror as well. There's been so many ties in the top 5. You absolutely need to get that win under your belt. And S2G, luckily for them, they are a Miramar squad typically. So this last game being a Miramar is exactly what they need.
And here on the bottom 3, you can tell TT Project, ETSH only being separated by just 1 point. Dopeness, Hustler Crew. I mean, Hustler Crew, I'm sorry that I'm going to be saying this, but we just haven't seen a single damn thing about you today. I think they ended up maybe getting a total of 14 points, if I'm not mistaken, after this 4 matches. So I don't expect them to do much. But for Dopeness, for ETSH Esports, they are within that striking distance to TT Project Hot Jukes. Just 1 point can push them outside of just going home and staying a little bit longer here at PMWC at EWC 26.
And that little bit longer is so critical, right? Because you're going to have a whole fresh start to just make it into that top 6. But right now, this is the time, guys. You got to be able to lock it down. The one thing I really worry about when it comes to these kind of situations is a lot of teams get into their own head. They're thinking, man, I just got to get 1 point. Maybe we just play super passive, do something different here. And that's not what got them here in the first place. So you have to just wipe off that anxiety, stay calm, stay collected, play the game you know that you could do, and make the best plays possible and make it to that next stage.
And if any team's going to do it, honestly, you know, talking about that mentality, talking about that pressure, it's going to be Nongshim. They've fallen out of the top 5. But I will tell you what, they are the one team in all of this lobby that I really feel will not crack under pressure. Hello.
While you guys were talking, I had that graphic up. I was able to find none other than Killer Joe from Go Gaming, a team that was able to get 8th place in Group A. Killer Joe, you're currently getting a chance to watch all the teams here at Group B. You're going to be going to Survival. What has surprised you besides Vitality?
Vitality, give him a trophy now.
No, not yet. You still have a fighting chance. Come on. Last year at PMWC, we actually got a chance to see the winning team come out of Survival. It could end up happening again here. What are you guys going to be looking to change, if anything, going into Survival? Because it is going to be top 6. Moving on.
We will change maybe more practice, more changing like positions of the game. Obviously, we have big problems in the first group because we just no focus, but trying to fight to get consistent. See you guys at the finals, I hope.
You got a chance to play Group A. You're getting a chance to see here Group B. There's been a lot of questions between everybody saying, which one is the group of death, okay? I want you to look at that camera and tell me which one is the group of death. Group A and Group B, and why?
Only Group A, because Vitality is crash everyone. Looks like they both won by 1 head of different team. I don't know, maybe it's I don't know how to explain this this game. Maybe they play by fun.
They're just playing on a completely different level. That's what's currently going on with Vitality. Even when they're slowing down here in the second day, they're still out fragging everybody else. Thank you, Killer Joe from GOAT Team. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to be doing in Survival. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of changes. Top 6, I think it's doable. But let's see what Barney and Luti are currently up to.
So, this is the thing, right? For those of you at home who are watching this incredible event, you may not be feeling the atmosphere here at PMWC, but we do have quite a bit of crowd presence. And before we go into our final match of Group B, let's test it out, shall we? Alpha 7, Fasan Barulho!
Not like it, I prepare here, bro. All right, Esports.
It is now! We saved the best till last. Godlike, let me hear you roar! Absolutely electric here
to close out this group, to close the group stages. Group B now with their last opportunity to put points on the board and to make history, to jump forwards into the finals or to get through to the survival stage.
I think the most incredible thing is just the fans that we have here with us during both Group A and Group B. Dude, we're not even in the finals yet, and there's such representation for multiple teams across the board. However, there are some teams that we do need to focus in on. We've got Wolves, Dopeness, TT Project. We've got a lot of squads that are on the cusp of getting through and into the survival stage right now, or losing it all and going home right here in Group B. TT Project filled with some fantastic players, some fantastic veterans as well of the game. But still have a little bit further to go now.
If they close it down now, they would be in, but it's just so... I got that right? TT Project, they're in, I believe. I'll have to double check on the tables when they pop up. But yeah, it's very, very close around that bubble. A lot of teams could change things around. For Etch, it feels like they have been sort of in and out, but not really showing us anything. And I think it's the same for TT Project, right? It's been these sort of always a team that's like, well, they could do quite well, but they're just not. They're just not quite there yet. So they've got one more chance to get there and give themselves that opportunity in the survival stage.
And to do that, we have one last map coming right at you very, very shortly. All our players getting ready to go now to jump into game. 5 seconds away from the conclusion of Group B here in map number 6, John.
Oh, we're right at the end of the road now. There is no other opportunity to make your mark here in the group stages. Over Miramar for the last time, and maybe for once, Blank, we are on for a kinder plain path than we've seen before. It looks like it's going fairly close from the southwest side. Oh, okay, yeah. So actually a lot kinder than the most we have seen from the Middle West over towards Campo Militar and sending across the north side a little bit on this one, but very accessible to the majority of this map.
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice playing path here, because you're going to be able to get over towards all the vehicles on the eastern coast here, wrap back down towards Impala Puerto Paraiso if you need to go that way. El Pozo's open immediately, as is Montenuevo, Power Grid, Picado, San Martin. There's lots of things you can do with this one. So I think a lot of teams are going to have a bit of an easier time going forward. We still haven't changed our top players. They're all in Team Vitality. That's never going to change at all. Neither is the damage numbers. Okay.
It might go up.
It might go up, but yeah, it's the players are not changing. Vitality has just had an absolute field day here in Group B, and we do have to congratulate them again. This has been a wonderful performance. We are going back to the past once again. BTR, when they were just so strong, but we're bringing the modern era of Indonesia. It's good to see, and that Indo pride is back in full force. We are heading over towards El Azahar right now. S2G getting themselves a central position. Last time they fought out from El Azahar to get a better spot down towards the circle in Chumacera. We're able to get a second place off the back of this one. This time around, they don't have to move half as far at all. So let's see what S2G can do. Can they get back up into that top 5? Because right now, Godlike are beating them by 1 point.
And they are also right next door to them as well, in that central location in the map. Godlike west of El Azahar right now, looking to try and keep themselves in the top 5. They are our bubble team right now, tied with Horror, but losing that tiebreaker as it stands. On placement points alone, I believe, is the tiebreaker between these two rosters, both with a chicken dinner under their belt. And Horror have to move from La Cobreria. It's a fairly accessible rotate, but still pretty fraught with danger, especially given that there's actually 2 teams up on the northeast side near Torre Hamada, near Campo Militar. So maybe they're going to need to try and find a lucky spin over towards the circle, just like you guys can find a lucky spin in game right now. Make sure you're heading into the game to draw for an exclusive set for the PMWC, making sure you're looking fine, fresh, and ready for battle, as many of our players are today and for the rest of this tournament. Back on board with TT Project split near Chumacera. They are again in the hot seat when it comes to elimination.
It's a very, very fun final map here we have. 1 point sits between 6th and 5th, and 1 point sits between 13th and 14th. One of those is a little bit more consequential than the others, because one means you go to the finals or survival stage. One means you go to survival stage or you go home. And I think right now, if I was TT Project, I'd be looking to try and get some more consistent points on the board. It's a difficult thing to try and figure out at the end of the day of whether to try and play aggressive, try and get a lot of points early and risk going out and opening up that door for other teams underneath you. But I think the best you can do is just try and play with consistency going into these final games. Very, very difficult to do. And honestly, with some of the strong teams that are going to be in your path over towards that northeast side for TT Project, I think playing a slow game is maybe the better decision.
A couple of points can be make or break, but there is always that flip side of like, well, what if Dopeness just pull out a 20 Elim chicken dinner out of nowhere, right? Maybe we should have done a little bit more to try and stop them, but I don't think you can trade on that. When you have so many teams in the mix, I think you're definitely right. That's a nice little pickup for Godlike, though. Not so nice for Hustler Crew, but like the Death said, we really haven't seen anything from them during these group stages. But it's brilliant news for Godlike to just get a little bit further ahead of Horror and break that tie, put themselves up in 4th now.
Yeah, I'm putting Horror in the hot seat versus S2G. Like I say, Horror moving across from La Cobreria, they can get a pretty early rotate over. They may have to contend with Vitality in the near future, though, and that is a terrifying prospect. But for Godlike, actually, I don't mind what they're going for. If they swung back in towards Impala and tried to finish off Hustler Crew, I mean, it's cheeky, but it does work. And it would be a way to guarantee some elimination points. I mean, like you say, Hustler Crew, since those finals, the first 2 days of finals of Western Europe, we just have not really seen anything else from this team.
I mean, I'm just slightly perplexed as to why Godlike did leave right in the middle of the circle and go to Los Leones, given where the circle did pop. Because if you remember, they dropped next to S2G. So it is a big flex out. It's Luton time, I guess, down in Los Leones, and that's where they want to go. That's where they are going to earn a point for it. You said you didn't mind if they were going to flex back to Impala. I feel like they could have committed to Impala potentially, but no. And now Los Leones Luton up on the northern side. Horror are making their way in past water treatment.
Well, for Godlike, they've already cleared out one player from Hustler Crew. They know the team they're going up against as well, so honestly, they could just swing back over towards the eastern coast, know that they might run back into Hustler Crew at some point in the future, feel fairly confident about winning that fight versus them, which is an extra 3 points in their bag, but also more space on the map. Tiamba getting very, very close to Dopeness here. This could be the end for one. Tiamba on top right now. Matika underneath. Speaker on his way.
Spot one. QZ with the shots, but not quite connecting there. That high ground is available. He's got the Mini 14 as well. Tiamba, with the chicken dinner that they were able to find in the match just previous, are now a lot safer ahead of that bubble. Currently 13 points ahead of 13th place. And for multiple teams to be able to jump that gap, it's going to take something quite big to make that one happen. So for Tiamba, I think they certainly are going to want to play this one slow.
Terrible spot to play with right now. Eagle, oh, it's just too easy. A couple of shots could ring out. The M249 tears through Matika. For Tiamba, any extra points is nice, but already two of our teams at risk of going home right now have lost one player. We always say how hard Miramar gets when you lose players in those first 10 minutes of the game. A lot of times you can't take the same angles you wanted before. For Dopeness, they're sat out in the open. Even though going against Godlike, they lose one. A piece, really.
Nobody is close enough to really go for this fight. Both teams now are going to have to send in, and TT Project are pushing in from the southwest side past Los Leones. An immediate response coming through, and Godlike will be first on the scene. That you can get the res here, and it looks like a no commitment from Ida. They're going to give up on that one. They know what is at stake, and another point for Godlike sees them one step closer, and taking a player away from Ida is a great result for them. It's a target team. They can push past very easily.
You know what I do like? I like that we had the camera on S-Power. My guy is smiling. He's having a good time in these games. I like that we had the...
For them, it's a target team. They can push past, taking a player away, and another point for Godlike. And no commitment from Eda. They're going to give up on that one. They know what is at stake, and another point for Godlike. Sees them one step closer, and taking a player away from Eda is a great result for them. It's a target team. They can push past very easily.
He's right now to sit themselves up towards that top, clutch after clutch, play after play. I can't respect it enough. Anyway, we are moving down towards the south side. Eda, like you say, they just gave up on it in preference of a better spot inside the circle as a three-man, which is tough. Wolves, they're not out of the woods just yet. They're on 41 points. But with both Dopeness and Hustler Crew going down to 3 players, I think Wolves are a little bit more set than we might expect.
Etch, the most flexible team in terms of trying to get through. Unfortunately for Etch, they have all 4 of their players up on the north side behind Vitality, who, as we know, are really good at this video game and will make it very, very hard for them to push past on the northern edge. Pastel has a hard as well, which is a difficult area to navigate around. They might have to send through the town if they don't want to go straight past Vitality. On that northern side. So a difficult approach for Etch to try and survive in this tournament blank, to get out of that zone where you get your key crushed at the end of the day. 7-2-1 trying to play center, and S2G can't quite keep them at bay with more than a knock. Not just yet. They haven't managed to get rid of them.
S2G suit and boot here. They've got a lot of supplies to work with, already opening up over towards GS now. Some good damage in. Malik will go down the back lines. Lost adds a point to the tally here.
7-2-1.
GS is crumbling.
Not really providing too much resistance here. Kamikaze stepping forwards, and S2G now drawing level. And remember, they lose that tiebreaker due to lack of chicken dinner, but they bring the firepower instead. They'll get another point to add to the tally, and they are now in the top 5 for the time being. Horror needing to try and catch up in the meantime. S2G want to add even more of a buffer. They have the potential here to jump up all the way to second with a clean fight.
More util sent out. Solke spots the jump out, takes a little bit of damage, but there's 2 players now to contend against, but the smoke is making it difficult. Solke opts to pull the pin. Molotov over the top. He might just cook this one. Go for the airburst around the side. It's good. Great damage. Can't quite get his shoulder around the corner, though.
Third party descends on the fight. Dopeness out of nowhere to backstop this, and they want to get really stuck in. They want to try and extract value from these fights. They've already got an elimination on side, and they are on 3 players. It's a bit of a do or die play, but I feel like if you're going to make one, now is the time to do it. Right in the middle, right in the truck stop. Try and survive as long as you can. And 3 players across the way makes S2G a little bit more timorous here. I think rightly so.
For S2G, though, the points are coming to them. These are teams that are not playing up to scratch right now. For GS, they fell fairly quickly up against S2G, who have been showing a very different style of gunpowder than they have in the past. Like I said before, it feels like finally S2G have found their footing now. Looked decent at points yesterday. Were able to swing back into the driving seat. Goes down to the smoke, quick loop. Get some more of that utility online. They're not taking any chances either, John.
Absolutely not. Can't afford to. The circle did center up on truck stop as well, so if S2G can clear things out here in the next minute or 2, it could get better for them, or it could get much worse, because Eda have now stepped 2 behind. They've scouted it out. They know there's a team here now, and they're looking to move the rest of them in to play. And S2G just can't catch a break, trying to clear this one out, clear the last player from 7-2-1 GS. And they will make it harder and harder. Meanwhile, the hills to the west are going to start to get occupied. Tiamba moving in to try and get some oversight on it. Try and make an impact.
This is a bit more of a spread than we used to from Tiamba as well. They're looking for more and more value on the map. They must feel a lot more comfortable coming into this game with 48 points. Will be hard to overlap that. Definitely doable, but will take quite a few things to line up, if I'm quite honest. But once again, it's S2G here looking for Miramar miracles.
Right in the middle of the map, Alpha 7 and Horror towards El Azahar. At the moment, Horror just have such brutal oversight onto Alpha 7's position. You've got Nuths up on the high ground out on the northwest side of El Azahar, and he's kind of the only operative with a chance to shut down an angle for Horror, because right now the rest of them trying to run through the town, trying to get anything done. Meanwhile, over on the east side, TT Project going to try and crash in towards Vitality, and they have opened an opportunity there, taking down one of the players. And remember, 13th place is not comfortable. TT want to jump up higher. They could push the Wolves into that hot seat too. There is so much at stake here.
I mean, for TT Project, to qualify by taking down the #1 squad would be quite an amusing feat. See if they can pull it off. Right now, Vitality do go down to 3 here. They have been playing all cylinders firing this entire time. At some point, they do have to start feeling that lactic acid. But again, it has just been marvelous. But TT Project, that initial pick-off does give them a little bit more space to work with on that northeast side. They can even pick up some of the high ground, start to swing their way through on that ridge. But it does open up to sightlines from Alpha 7, who do now need to move.
There's so many teams who have been circling this circle for quite a while. Nongshim Red Force have been playing out all the way from the northwest side. They've been in the blue zone for ages, and they're just crashing into a fight potentially with Yangon Galacticos. Godlike as well, disengaged from the Wolves, and they've moved in behind Hustler Crew, who you said they know are diminished in power. And they could try and punch a hole through. With Vinny already down, there is a weakness. There's blood in the water for Godlike to try and strike.
And Godlike move up, it's almost it's almost poetic how it's all happening as we expected it to. Vinny goes down to Manya, and again, perfect plans laid in motion by Godlike, now being executed on them. The blueprint being followed to a T.
Beautiful stuff, but they still have to keep going a little bit more pacey. Yangon Galacticos reinforcing the south side against this Godlike push. Sure, Hustler Crew kind of not able to do too much here, but in this compound, Yangon Galacticos have a much stronger foothold. In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force looking to try and change the tune towards TT Project up on that northern side, a little bit closer to that fight. Tiamba looking to take on E-Arena, who as well are in danger. All of our linchpin teams on the tables blank are going hell for leather into the fight.
There's Power finding another over towards Hustler Crew, leaving them with just one player left alive. Jameson will have to try and make this one work, but he is stuck between most of the players from Godlike, and they are not going to give him an inch. E-Arena over towards Tiamba, very, very important fight for them. E-Arena also, despite what was an insane start to their day on day 1, they have dropped down to 4th, and Hustler Crew will be the first team to leave us from Group B.
No longer will they be here in Paris. They have been rebuffed. The rest of the lobby did not allow them access. Godlike, the ones to deal the final blow to them, and they want to try and earn those points even further, get higher and away from that bubble position. In Group A, we saw the bubble being 88 points, but now it is going to go even further beyond. Etch making a mad dash in, and this could be another team joining. Hustler Crew on the northeast side. They crash, and they crash into Horror. Ida taking a chunk out of them, and it is just one player left now for Etch to try and cross the boundary.
For Edge, I don't know what the move was. I don't know what the play was either. We've been out in the blue for the longest time, still trying to find a way in. They played this game a little bit too slow, in my opinion, leaving them only with speed remaining. For TT Project, they honestly do not need to do a lot here to stay ahead. It will require one hell of a game here for speed to get through in towards survival stage, leaving Dopeness as the last chance.
Wolves taking a lot of damage, trying to roll around the hills, but keeping themselves nice and safe. Tiamba a little bit more at risk, and I think that this may just be a flush if Elementrix can find the right spot to spray down. E-Arena as well, looking to try and get the points earned and confirmed onto their tally. to make sure that they're further away, because it is just so volatile. A single place going down, a single player getting lost diminishes your point scoring ability to the point where it could be tournament making or tournament breaking. A spray down from Schweppes, and he's adding it to the tally, but that's stolen away, maybe, from the Wolves.
Wolves would love any more points they can get here, keep them in the running. Now S2G, they moved away from truck stop. This is a really fantastic spot on the map to play, honestly, for S2G. Gives them a lot of control. They look down towards some of the low ground on that eastern side and can give them points off the back of it, which they're already looking for now. Getting knocked over towards Vitality. Wolves continue to pump those points there, move further and further away from the bottom three.
They keep increasing that buffer, but E-Arena not so lucky. They're taking damage. They tried to jump into the fight, but it's not going well. They try to move forwards, and they're playing as two. TT Project taking damage as well. Vitality eliminated. Tiamba are out of the running as well, but they may have done enough. Elementrix moving forwards. E-Arena going down here is a massive change in the tables. S2G, Horror, and Nongshim Red Force all with a bigger opportunity to take one of those top 5 spots. A Joker stands tall. The belt buckle on the floor.
They need to hold on here. Joker moves up, Elementrix moving off the back of the position, but more and more players coming through. This is going to be an incredible clutch if he can make it work, but Joker does go down.
A trade, a Norman turning away, the vehicle going up in smoke, E-Arena in danger, E-Arena right down to the wire. They do manage to pick up a point or two, but on 95 they are far from safe. A sliver of HP, and he swaps the vehicles out. Where can he go though? Where can he call home?
The teams underneath him, they all have better positions inside the circle. E-Arena forced to stop off at a shack here down towards the south side. Only real option they have. I'm more laughing at the fact that TT Project thought that their only way to stay in towards survival stage was to defeat Vitality of all teams. I mean, if it works, I guess.
A little pincer maneuver with Nongshim Red Force, who are one of the chasing teams as well, in 7th place. Moving in, the South Korean roster looking to try and turn on those afterburners. They do have a chance to make it work here. But they have TT Project to try and guard out. So many crucial battles happening, spanning the entirety of this leaderboard, Blank. It is so important for about 50% of the lobby as to what happens in the next 3 minutes.
Godlike still keeping it chill down towards the south side. Difficult push for them though. Yangon Galacticos watching over their every move. So how would they want to play this one out? It's still rich sides to work with. Denying those sight lines, but as we head over towards that northern edge, goodness me, you have the eyes of many teams looking your way. Alpha 7, I think, have done more than enough. However, it would require a gargantuan game to get into top 5, and I think they can be very pleased with their current position on the leaderboards.
Wow.
Circle centers up, and again, S2G, they just take the right maneuver at the right time. They knew they had the most control over truck stop when it happened, made an executive decision to move over towards this area of the map. Again, this is a winning spot.
And yeah, as you say, the decision to leave truck stop itself really is going to play well for them. That northeast side can get rebuffed. That's the arena. That's the arena down, Blank. The last player spotted. Ida, the ones to deal the final blow there, picking up a point for themselves and taking E-Arena down. Now 95 points is a clear target for these teams behind them. And there is a tiebreaker between them and Godlike. There's Ida 1 point behind, 3 points behind for Aura and for S2G. And Nongshim Red Force with a chance to blow that one away as well here with a chunk of points and a big game for the South Koreans. It is just so deadly to be going down at a time like this.
Nongshim Red Force moving up from this compound means they'll have to put themselves in the sightlines of TT Project, but it's Alpha 7 actually waiting on the exit here. TT Project look to make the quick maneuvers. They move out in the convoy. They're taking a ton of damage as they move on in over towards S2G, holding the line.
And Nongshim Red Force chiming in as well. Another knock over towards Zerich, leaving two of TT Project alive on their bubble position. Dopeness wanting to stay alive in truck stop and try and surpass it. More damage is pouring on through. Alpha 7 looking to close the trap, and in comes the backup. There's Nongshim Red Force trying to wrap around behind, and the nades are brutal. TT Project on their last legs. Effect the last to stand. Now on a sliver of HP, the nades go long. He's just about able to dodge it, and with an S12K, he's got to open a dream.
Effect staying quiet, hoping Alpha 7 and Nongshim Red Force fight against one another first. Edge will have to move in across the road. The singular player still left alive here. Dopeness being the other problem, also having to leave soon too. Nongshim Red Force taking a little bit of damage, but it's S2G who bear the brunt of the pain. This is on a double split though, so there's two reses going off at the same time for S2G. They are so lucky that so many teams on the northern side are all fighting against one another. Gives them a brief opportunity of respite.
And it means that the sightlines for S2G were distracted, not in operation, and that's going to allow a little bit more maneuverability. Those reses have come through, and S2G are back into the fight. Alpha 7 crashing in, trying to take down Nongshim Red Force. There goes Effect. TT Project losing out on the more point-scoring opportunities here, and 36 points is the target for Dopeness, for maybe even Edge. So easy cruising around the sidelines, but Carrillo spots him underneath the vehicle, looks for the spray to confirm, but doesn't quite get enough damage. The nade over the top finds what they're looking for.
Alpha 7 looking to finish out strong here on the final day of Brood, but Hyunbin goes absolutely mental, puts Alpha 7 in the Hyunbin, taking out the trash here at the end of the day. Nongshim Red Force, good to speak. Hyunbin's finally down, but Cleo, he is still up, still kicking. Alpha 7 still have life, but finally will leave.
Down they go. Nongshim Red Force down as well. No challenge there. E-Arena drop one spot because Horror flex out to get involved. They're going to get stuck in, pushing E-Arena down. And Horror are the first team to confirm themselves with Vitality because nobody else can pass them.
Goodness me, what an insane fight that was there. Carrillo really hanging on to hope right at the end versus Hyunbin. Horror though, making this cross a massive opportunity versus S2G. They left Kamikaze as the anchor once again towards the center. Godlike watching from a distance, patience.
And choosing their time to strike, Hamzy goes for face, but Sky rains down hell, and Hamzy hits the deck. A fall could be brutal for S2G's hold on a top 5 spot here. Horror looking to ruin the day. They're in right now, but Ida are across the way. They're a lot safer, and they have got more players alive and ready to take this fight.
Horror, they lose Sleepy, but it's okay. They're awake now, right now, in this game. Looking to put some more points on the cards. It's a difficult push-out for them. They picked the right opportunity, now looking for more. Godlike under pressure from the Wolves as they send over towards their position. They're playing this one slow, cautiously. Marnet, though, will find Sky. Jiggle up on high, though, drops the nade. Could be big, but they scatter.
Horror doing bits against Yangon Galacticos, but in the meantime, the Wolves are burning away on Godlike on the south side flank. They are going low, they are going down. Horror with the danger on the roll-up, but there goes the first, and no fear now. Last to stand for Horror, a chance to make it through, but Godlike are down to 1 on the south edge. The Wolves are going to fall, though, and Godlike get the points they need. They're over the line. They have made it to the top 5.
Admino with an insane clutch up versus the Wolves. Godlike hit 98 on an 8 elim game. S2G hanging on by a thread here.
No matter what, it's a Turkish team going in. The question is who? If you go down now, S2G, placements are going to flip this around. It's going to change things, and all for the worse, not to mention TT Project just dropped down.
Dopeness make it in those last moments. They played slow from truck stop. They rolled in, they parked up, and they will be going through to the survival stage.
Speed with the opportunity to do one of the funniest things I think we could see. A chance to maybe push Dopeness aside, but the placements are kicking in. Already 2 guaranteed, meaning you need at least 3 points, if not more, to try and close that gap on the overalls. and down go
No
S2G.
way.
They are out, and the placements are there for Ida. They are 3 points behind, and Speed could be there. Godlike get a 10th elimination as well, and put themselves into the triple digits. They're going for that 4th Drives 107.
They hit the century. Centurions inside the lobby. These guys have been marching towards success between the beginning of the game. Speed moving up. Ida potentially backstabbed here by a player at the bottom of the rankings, preventing their approach into the top 5.
They've done enough though. E-Arena is already going to go down, and there goes Edge. Our bottom 3 are locked on in, and Ida force E-Arena out of the top 5. Sure, you can break records, but you can't go the distance. You don't make it to the top 5.
Let's see how this game does end up, but we have our top 5 going through to the finals. Vitality, who have been a wealth of life spring here over towards Group B. Godlike with 100 points, hitting the triple digits, the only other team to do it. Horror underneath. S2G and Ida, 2 Turkish teams getting through to the finals in one group. This has been an incredible 2 days, John.
It has been so closely fought. It's been right down to the wire. It's just a matter of shutting this one out. Dopeness making it through by the skin of their teeth to join the survival stages over the top. A lazy float over will be enough to shut down Mana, and Yangon Galacticos will join that survival stage as well. Now Ida looking to rattle some skulls around the edge as they roll over the top here. Godlike looking to put the hurt down as they ascend.
Speaker low gets the first aid off though. Kenji potentially rezzed up here off in the distance. Ida trying to play around this little bit of terrain. Salmi has a nade, looks to throw it. Goes long, but not long enough.
Got another one. Wants to go a little bit further maybe, if he's got that read right. The Cook looks pretty good, and it tags Lufa. Takes him very, very low. The smokes are bloomed, keeping Ida safe on their angles. There's a nade in response, and Lufa able to do what Salme couldn't and managed to clock that one. Amino was clutch before, but will he be clutch again here? A 1 versus 3 would be necessary, but down go Godlike. They have done enough though, Blank. They have made their way to those grand finals, and Ida looking to join them. Dopeness, are they gonna find it right at the end? A 1-2 punch against Ida. Speaker around the tree with the shotgun goes down, and Rita and Emre look to try and bring it to bear. They find what they're looking for. 3 chicken dinners today, and they make their way to join the top 5.
Taking half the map so far. Ida with a hell of a run here in Group B right at the end. But Vitality was insane. Godlike will join them in the 100 points club. But really, Ida has had a hell of a run.
What a resurgence from Turkey. S2G and Ida both putting pedal to metal when it mattered, and their metal was tested, and they proved themselves worthy of one of those direct spots to the grand finals, joining some of the best teams in the world. We've got to make a couple more spots available though, and that is for our survival stage teams, Blank.
The survival stage will be coming up very shortly. I know they are going to be some amazing matches because we still have some insanely strong teams going through to survival stage. It has been super down to the wire. This was so volatile towards the top. But goodness me, OG Godlike in the finals. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff.
What a glow up from India on the global stage. They have done so much improvement. They have found their feet and they are making waves. Nobody can deny their power now when it comes to PUBG Mobile. They have impressed, they have brought their best, and it is more than enough for us. More than enough for plenty of our players too. Nobody seems to be able to handle it.
Honestly, I thought that we were kind of locked in towards the bottom of the leaderboards as well, but there was a lot of changes going on there towards the end. Dopeness very much having the last little bit of gas in the tank to get them through. For TT Project, it is a devastating result though.
Not making it. What can you do? What can you do for such prominent players with such storied history? It is difficult to bring it on through. Etch as well, having a real tough time of it. Speed trying to make the most of that final opportunity, but it just couldn't happen. That mad dash from the northeast ruining their chances. And they're going to join Hustler Crew, who, to be fair, look pretty devastated themselves.
Yeah, not really able to get anything done during these matches, sadly. But again, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. We are just waiting to get on board with Barney shortly, but this is what everyone's excited to see. A Vitality to come out and crush some keys.
Oh, you can see the names inscribed there. They will be taking a tumble into the crusher fairly soon. We're making sure that that one is done. I feel like, you know, the big storyline over the course of all of this has been, of course, Vitality. And we are going to tune in with them down on the stage. Barney, over to you.
After an absolutely wild final map, watching E-Arena just slowly knock on down, that was absolutely insane. We obviously have our champions of the last 2 days of the group stage. Here in Group B, it is, of course, Team Vitality. Guys, what an impressive 2 days. Federales, let's have a chat, okay? Now, I wanted to ask, with yesterday being so impressive, such a great day for you guys, was today an opportunity to just try some new things and try out some new strats? Like, what was today like for you guys?
Yeah, that's definitely what we do right now today. We try new rotation, we try new gameplay, the way we try to fight more. Yeah, that's it.
That was it. Now, waiting for you guys in the finals next week, we obviously have some pretty heavy hitters, the likes of Four Thrives, Orangutan, Aurora Gaming. What are your thoughts going into next week? Who do you think is going to give you the toughest time?
I think that question is for Axel Zargel. So,
oh, okay.
Untuk tim yang ada di final tentunya kan ada Orangutan, ada juga Four Tribes, dan juga tim-tim yang lainnya sudah lolos dari grup A dan juga grup B. Menurut kamu tim paling susah untuk dilawan di final kira-kira siapa sih? Apakah ada?
Ngomong Indonesia.
Ya.
Sekarang kita masih belum kebayang sih kayak lobby yang ada di final nanti. Cuma pasti bakal lebih keras daripada grup stage ini karena tim-tim yang masuk kan tim-tim yang terbaik kan.
For now, I have no idea because the final stage is not set yet. There's still like another teams that are gonna join them, but it's definitely gonna be harder for us to win because it's definitely gonna be the best of the best. Yeah.
We'll be the best of the best in that lobby. Federales, good dodging for that question. That was good. Right, okay, gentlemen, it's time to do the fun bit, the bit that everyone loves. Let's walk to the crusher. And we've got a little bit of a ways to walk, so while we walk, let's have a quick chat. Federales, I'll continue to chat with you. Dude, earlier on today, while the desk were having a chat, some of the other pro players stopped by, namely Killer Joe from GOAT Team. He said, if they're going to play like this, Vitality may as well just be given the trophy at this point. How does it feel to hear something like that?
it feels good, but I hope we can do it in the finals too, so yeah.
Yeah, of course, you got to do it in the finals, guys. Right, I want you to go around to the back of this crusher. I want you guys to line up for me. So everyone step up onto the step, please. This is the fun bit. Right, now we got to do a little bit of explaining. Let's set the scene here. 3 teams are being eliminated from the entire PMWC right here, right now, by you guys, okay? We've got Hustler Crew. We've got TT Project, and we've got ETSH Esports. Look, this is the nature of the competition, but, you know, is there anything that you would like to say to those eliminated teams before we have to send their keys down?
Me?
Yes, you.
Nice try and better luck next time, I think.
Nice try, better luck next time. Okay. Would you like to press the button and open up the iris of the crusher? 3, 2, 1. Nice and smooth, I like it. Okay, gentlemen, this is how the cookie crumbles. We're gonna pull on this lever and it's gonna crush the remaining keys. Would you like to give it a go? Who would like to do it? In 3, 2, 1, pull it! And there they go. Was that satisfying? Was that good? That was good. Satisfying?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, you gotta stop doing it, man. Come on. It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Now we're gonna have to do that obviously again next week. And of course, in the survival stage, plenty of PMWC action to come your way. Congratulations one more time to Team Vitality. What an incredible performance over the last 2 days. But we've got to break down everything we saw today on day 2 of Group B. Let's head back to the studio to do that.
A dominating performance out of Vitality in this past 2 days for Group B. PMWC at EWC 26. This squad was just looking different. You heard it there from Federalis as well today. They were just trying different stuff because they didn't really have to try that hard with how they were able to perform in that first day.
No, they weren't. They had nothing to worry about, nothing whatsoever. I mean, even after 6 matches of all these teams really giving it their all and getting all those points and making some upsets on the leaderboard, which we'll get to later, but there was nothing that anybody could do. They were just far and above beyond. So really nice to see them kind of work on a few other things and try and figure out what they want to do for those finals.
Well, day 2 was just scrims, really.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. But something that we do need to note, as we were able to note it in the past, for India, step up, baby, because it's time for you to shine. You have 2 teams now in the grand finals and getting a chance to maybe, honestly, with the way they've been performing, to end up finishing in the top 5. They have Orangutan, they have Godlike, and boy, have these teams have performed well for India.
There were so many haters, so many doubters, and you know what? Doubters, I was one of them just a few days ago, but we were proven wrong. Orangutan, Godlike, stepping up and making it right into your grand finals. What a step up for the entire country here. And you know what? After their dominating performance, getting 2nd place in their respective groups, they can do it again. Who knows? Maybe a podium is on the line for India.
And there we have the teams that are already in the finals, gonna be waiting from group stages. Sport Thrives, OG, Aurora Gaming, Team Flash, Enigma Galaxy, Vitality, IDA Esports, Godlike Esports, Aura Esports, and S2G as well, Ace.
I mean, look, speaking of step-ups, IDA Esports, S2G, I mean, IDA getting 3 chicken dinners.
Ooh.
And I mean, this is absolute insanity. The way that they were able to go from, I think it was literally about like 15th, not 15th, I'm gonna say
They were
13th.
pretty low. They were pretty low.
They were incredibly low on the leaderboard going in today. And now to have 3 chicken dinners, incredible stuff, especially moving into the finals. They finally found their footing and 108 points from them. This was so unexpected from this team, especially going from yesterday, where they just could not even get themselves any eliminations. And now you see them scouting teams, you see them obliterating teams, you see the way that they were able, especially in a spot, able to take on the likes of S2G and their positioning that they had in one of these zones. Incredible stuff from them.
Absolute Turkish domination today. 3 chicken dinners for Ida, consistent podium finishes from S2G, but we have to say there's one massive upset here on our screens.
Yep.
E-Arena. What happened after that initial record-breaking rondo? 39 points on a stadium finish, and after that, they just disappeared and fell out of the top 5. It's not like you have to be number 1, top 5, and they still couldn't make it. What happened to this team?
Neptura more than 1/3 of their points in one match, but they ended up crumbling.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad because E-Arena was one of the teams I was really looking forward to seeing, and we just didn't see anything. Yes, we had a massive record-breaking rondo to start off everything, and you're right, they got 1/3 of the points. But where did they go? You said what happened? What did they do after that? The answer is nothing, Max. They did nothing.
Unfortunately, really nothing. Nongshim Red Force, I'm very sad. Day 2 didn't do much. They were very passive, not willing to commit to fights. I think Nongshim Red Force felt the pressure, very indecisive, but here we go. 3rd page, ETSH, TT Project, Hustler Crew going straight to the airport, straight to Charles de Gaulle. But Dopeness, that 3rd party chasing down Horror after they were fighting onto Alpha 7. That was literally their lifeline at PMWC. They don't go for that big play. Chances are Dopeness do not make it to the finals, so good to see Japan will make it to that survival stage.
It's pretty dope of them. So
you did not just say that.
Pretty dope of them. No, but look, this is going to sound crazy, but TT Project,
Yep.
I really think people deserve it, right? Everyone deserves it. They deserve to be here. But I feel like TT Project was showing up in so many ways across the games, and I feel like they sort of deserve to go to that survival round with the way that they were playing. But I mean, sometimes it just takes, you know, we see from E Arena, sometimes it just takes this one game to absolutely pop off, get that ball rolling, and move their way up on that leaderboard. But I mean, Team Dopeness, if they can bring this there we go, energy and that exact same composition, they might have a fun time in survival stage.
Yeah, I was looking at the leaderboard there, especially in the top 5, and something that did end up impressing me that we have to make sure we point out was Godlike's eliminations, because there were a lot more eliminations than what Orangutan was able to get, which was one of my biggest feedback for some of that squads, right? You got to be able to match the aggressiveness that the lobby is currently giving some of these teams, and with the way that Godlike was able to perform here, being aggressive, getting those eliminations, it puts them in such a great spot when we end up going to the finals. And for India, I'm just happy by the way these teams are performing. The scrims, the international scrims are paying off for these squads, and everything is looking good as we see the qualified teams to survival stage.
Oh, you know what? I am so excited to see both of the Indian teams coming on to the finals, but we're looking at the survival stage here, and that's what we're going to be focusing on until next weekend, right? We're going to be looking at ULF, AGAL, GOAT Team, Furia, E Arena, Nongshim, Alpha 7. The list goes on, and already I'm seeing some massive players here, Max. That is just going to be insane going in. We're going to have a great 2 days ahead of us.
It's honestly, it's an intense lobby. Every single time, I feel like we end up saying this, Max, this is one of the best lobbies we have seen so far. Going into that survival, that could end up being a grand finals lobby. That's how stacked it is. One surprise that we got a chance to see there from that graphic is Furia and Alpha 7. Alpha 7 was expected because of the way they've been performing, but for Furia, we expected a lot more. Hopefully, they got a chance to see what happened here in Group B, and they can turn it around in survival.
And they need to step up massively. But you know what? Hey, Alpha 7 surviving the group stage. Oh my goodness, what is going on? It happened! It happened! They made it to the next stage here at PMWC, even though that Brazil, we need to see a step up, right? So far, none of the teams of that region have qualified for the finals. It will be very weird to not see any Brazilian representation into the finals. So very excited to see how that's going to go down for them. But you know what? Talking about the group of death, is it Group A? Is it Group B? I think it's the survival stage because, oh my goodness, that is stacked as hell.
It will be. It will be. Well, let's see who was the MVP of this group as we got the top 5 players, and no surprise that we have 3 players of Vitality Race coming out on top there with the 30 eliminations. But yes, S-Power, no fear as well, making sure that it wasn't just a full domination from Vitality Lace.
Yeah, look, what a great catch-up, especially from Godlike there. I mean, this was their sort of day to shine in that certain section. Yeah, no one's catching Vitality, guys, okay? I told you at the start, you're like, Lace, why do you keep harping on about them? This is why! This is why! Do you see the cohesion of this team? You see the damage output that they are able to get, and it's not just from one shining star. It's from over half of the roster.
Yeah, look, it's Ray Ray there. It's my boys, Ray Ray, the Ray Ray duo.
Hey, Ray Ray.
Hey, Ray Ray. Oh, is that sticking? Are we keeping that? I kind of like it.
Absolutely.
I like it. Let us know on social media. Use that hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26.
Hashtag Ray Ray.
And hashtag Ray Ray.
Hey, Ray Ray.
If we end up seeing that, if it actually sticks, that'll be amazing. Before we end it here, what are we looking for? We do, by the way, for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget, we won't be on tomorrow, but we will be on the day after that on Tuesday, which, if I'm correct, if my math serves me right, it will be August 11th is when we'll be back with survival stage. Anything that you're looking forward to in survival?
Nongshim to be #1.
Oh, that's a hell of a
They're
prediction.
going to win survival stage. I know they will.
Okay, I take that prediction, and for predictions, don't forget to go to the EWC app because you will be able to put in your predictions as well. Let us know how you guys are doing so far because your predictions list have been pretty spot on. What are you looking for survival?
Okay, this is not going to be like a spot-on prediction, but this is going to be a prediction that I really want to see, and it's AGAL make it into the finals because I want to segue into the club championship and what they're able to do. Sorry, Falcons, but I want a different club to win, so I hope AGAL can push their way into the finals and get them some more points to carry on flying over the Falcons.
Okay, Vitality isn't looking bad either. I mean, right now we even got Killer Joe from GOAT Team saying, just give him the trophy. Hold on, slow down. We still got a lot more games here for PMWC at EWC 26. Max, how about you?
I mean, look, Nongshim, Red Force, Furia, they're kind of the obvious ones. I'm going to say Tiamba. I was very disappointed with how they played back in PMMI, right, the Macau Invitational. I was like, okay, this team, I think top 5 is possible. And today, just no aggression, very indecisive. And I was very surprised, especially with a player such as QZZ on the lineup. I was like, what's happening? This team slowed down to an absolute halt. So Tiamba, I would say, is a team that, alongside AGAL, that you mentioned here, Lace, I need to see more presence going into that survival stage.
I want to see more presence too, and that could be one team that ends up benefiting of going to survival. Alpha 7 is on that list as well. Teams that have been trying different stuff, but honestly, this was how it was played for group stages. Not no more. Now, when we end up going to survival stage, it is going to be about being in the top 6 if they want to make it to the finals. If you don't end up being in the top 6, your butt is gonna go home and you're not gonna be able to play for even more prize pool here at PMWC at EWC 26. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the 7WG joined by Lace, Maxman, and Neptura. Thank you so much for the amazing fun. Hopefully you guys didn't get a concussion from when I hit you with the chicken leg, but we will see you Tuesday, August 11th for the start of survival stage.